Hello, Bruno. How are you doing this fine evening? Are you ready for probably at least 4 hours of a visual novel game for this one single chapter? Come on, chapter 5. Each chapter has taken at least 4 hours to do, and I'm fine with that because it's very good. Oh, but that's not really. That's sad to hear. Hope things feel better. Hope you do better soon. I don't know. Hope it stops being shitty.
Ooh,
No, I
I
fucking know.
needed that break.
Yeah,
Back to it.
last stream of this, like last full stream of a chapter, it was like 5 hours. Chapter 4 was gonna take like almost 7 hours. I was like, wow, this is. I love the thing is I love the game, so I was down to just go through it, but like, whew, it got really late when I did one of the last chapter. I like when doing this if it tells you the time. It doesn't. It got really late. It's long. Each chapter is really long. They're most of it's like voice acted, but like in the internal dialogue of the main character. You have to. It's not voiced, so you have to read that yourself. But like, it's just long and it's really good. I enjoy the story is really good. I'm enjoying it. So like, I'm not complaining. It's like just be if you want to. I'm just letting you know. It's well, this stream is gonna be like minimum 4 hours, maybe 6. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what time. You know what happens. No. Let's jump right in to chapter 5. Even though it says chapter 4, it just says that because they're not started chapter 5 technically. So jump in there. Chapter 5. Stray thoughts. The familiar jingle of the bell house door greets me as I walk in for what could be the last time. Once Aspen starts working at the new location next week, I won't have much reason to visit this one anymore. Ah, okay. I appreciate you. You can lurk if you want, you know. I'm not gonna force you to actively, you know, watch, participate, do all that jazz. Just do whatever you feel like. The scent of baking bread and brewing coffee, mixed with the clean earthiness of the plants, is something that I'll miss too.
Hey, welcome to the Bell House. Oh, it's Miho.
I'm dying.
Hey, Lena.
She turns her head over her shoulder to yell back towards the kitchen.
Aspen, your girlfriend's here.
There's a muffled sound from the back, and a couple of other patrons turn to look at the source of the shout. Lena ignores them entirely.
She'll be right out. Thanks.
Lena will also be moving over to the new location when it opens. Aspen told me she got to pick which staff members she wanted to invite to the new one. But she doesn't want Lena to know that. She'd never live it down. That makes sense. You know, it's like, you know, we have our quarrels, but like, you know, I just want to, the synergy we have is pretty pogchamp. But you know, guess I'll take you with me to the new location that I'm managing. If there's no one else in line, I lean against the counter to talk to Lena while I wait for Aspen.
I was just thinking about how I'm gonna miss this place. It must be like that for you too, right?
I don't know. I haven't thought about it too much. Maybe I'll miss it when I get there.
Maybe.
But why get a head start on that when I've still got another week here?
Good point.
I'm sure Lena and I have different feelings about the Bell House anyway. I have a lot of special treasure memories here. But for her, it's just part of her routine. Kind of like how the library is important to both Aspen and me, but not in the same way. Aspen herself comes out from the kitchen, carrying a small plate with a strawberry croissant on it. Lena locks on instantly.
Well, you still got croissants left?
Not anymore. I was saving this one for Miho.
Oh, you Aspen.
Wow, abusing your powers already?
Thank you,
It's not the
Aspen.
first time. Besides, I've noticed we go through blueberry muffins suspiciously fast when you're working the counter.
See, Lena be stealing some blueberries. This game is about a fox. Figuring out what the meaning of life is, because she was this character here, just off screen, right? Barely off screen.
I thought I was being sneaky.
That's Miho, the main character. She used to be a fox until one day she, somehow, without her knowing, we don't know how it happened, but she gained the power to turn to the fox girl, and she later find out she's a gumiho, which is a fox that can turn in, that gains the ability to, you know, fox person. It's also about lesbians. It's a women loving woman, visual novel, and it's really adorable, and I love it. I love Miho. She's very precious. Aspen's also very precious. And the other love interest you haven't seen yet, Bruno, is also very precious. They're really great. The story, characters, amazing. I love it. Very emotional. Chapter 3 was chapter 3? Kind of. It's a dating sim, yeah. There's currently four endings. I've not gotten. This is my first playthrough, so yeah.
Not sneaky enough, so shh.
Aspen puts a finger to her lips as she hands me the illicit treat. That's how you spell illicit.
Wow, it's been forever since I've had stolen food.
It's not stolen. It's just selectively available.
That's stolen if yeah.
Right. I'm gonna go select something available from the rack myself. See you later, Miho.
See you, Lena. Have a nice day.
Bye, Lena.
Sure enough, she plucks a muffin from the display case on her way to the back of the store. I take a bite of my croissant, getting strawberries and cream all over my hands. It's as messy as it is delicious. As reaches up and wipes away a doppel of cream from my nose.
Go sit down and I'll bring you something to drink. What would you like?
Oh, it's okay. You don't have to do that.
I want to, though. What'll you have?
Well...
If you insist on the drink.
Another foxtail latte, please.
Of course. I don't even have to ask.
It is my drink, after all.
Yes, I'm well aware. And I'll have it right out.
You Aspen. I carry my croissant to my favorite seat by the window and sit down, enjoying the familiar view. It's changed a bit since I first sat down here, half a year ago, but it's still mostly the same out on the outside. With only a couple weeks left until the new year, people bustle about outside, trying to make the best of what's left in it. I think I've begun to understand why it's important to people, why it's worth numbering the years when you'll only get to see so many of them. I spot Aspen approaching, carrying a drink in each hand. I move my plate out of the way to make room for her as she sits down.
Here you are, a foxtail latte for its namesake.
Thanks! It's delicious.
You haven't even tried it yet.
So? I don't need to. I just know.
It has been a hit with the customers too, I must say. More than
Oh, yeah?
any of the other beverages I've created.
Interesting. That's good for you, right?
Clearly I have my wonderful muse to thank for that. You've left a mark on this place too.
Also, I see Decker, you're in Rose's chat as well.
That's why I get them for free forever, right?
Sure.
Or as long as I'm working here at least.
Yeah.
You know,
Also,
maybe
Bruno's there.
Lena was a little bit right about me abusing my powers.
Bruno's also in the Rose's chat. I see you guys. I see you. You're not sneaky.
I won't Don't tell her you said that.
Good.
There's a growing list of things I should tell Lena. A glowing list too, maybe. Aspen takes a sip of her own drink and looks impressed.
Damn, that is good.
She removes the lid to let it cool, which isn't something I've seen her do before.
What are you doing after this? I'm only on a 5, by the way.
And at 5? Hell yeah.
That's fine. I'll probably just head back to the library. I don't have much else to do today.
Unless you have plans? You want what your plans want to do, Aspen?
Jealous?
Oh, I guess not.
Why? What about you?
I'm only working half my shift here today. After lunch, I'm going to the new store to help Regina with some final inspections,
Oh,
and then
okay.
doing interviews for new hires. It's a lot.
Dang.
You're doing all of that in one day?
There aren't that many days left. We should have been done with hiring already, but one person changed his mind last minute. So now...
Ah. She trails off and ends with a sigh. A combination I know all too well.
Well, I could go on, but I won't. Who would have thought opening a brand new restaurant would be so much work?
I don't know. Who would have thought? Although she laughs, I can't help but be a little concerned. Although it's still been over a month since Aspen decided to take a break from writing, it's still way too soon for her to be overworking herself again.
Are you sure you're gonna be alright? I mean, you're gonna be this busy until it opens, right?
If not busier, yes. It won't be fun, but I'll manage.
You sure? Last time you overworked yourself, nothing good happened. You got fucking hung over.
I've heard that one before, you know.
I know. I mean it though. Really. The soft opening is in 10 days. Even after that, there'll be plenty to do. Maybe more than there is now.
Oh.
But eventually things will settle down, and I don't have to sell my soul in the process too.
That's good. Unlike last time, you published your book, you had to make all those changes.
That's the big difference. I can handle being tired. It was the dread and anxiety that I couldn't take.
Before, there's something different in the way Aspen speaks. When she would talk about her writing and how she felt, it was obvious that even she didn't believe the words she was saying. But now, I can tell from the light in her eyes that she means it.
Okay. You're pretty determined, huh?
I am. It felt good to make my mind up about something. I want to give it my very best, so that I can feel good when I look back on it too. Besides, I'd say that growing the new Bell House into Wellington's most popular cafe would be a more than adequate way to be remembered. But I'll settle for it being a hidden gem too.
As long as you're selling strawberry croissants and foxtail lattes, I don't see how it could be anything else.
Of course you would, Miho.
Hopefully. Word of mouth from the first few days will be very important. If we fail to make a good first impression, then it could be hard to recover.
You're worrying too much. Everyone already loves the Bell House. I'm sure they'll love yours too.
Me? Worry too much? No way.
Surely that won't happen. Oh my god, there's my mic again. My VT. There we go. Love it when it just dies on me. When my freaking thing just disconnects itself. It just fucks things over. Great. Love when my USB hub crashes. Anyways, back to the game.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're probably right. Besides, I have a great team too. With their help, I'm sure it'll turn out okay.
That's more like it. You and Lena are gonna do great.
I can't let her show me up after all, especially as the store manager.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, I really am starting to sound like her.
That's another one for the list, right?
Yeah, definitely going on there.
Naturally.
Oh, whoa, don't shout like that. What the heck?
Speaking of Lena, I need to get back to work.
I'm busy this afternoon, but I'm free tomorrow after work.
That's good to hear.
I'm always free when you are.
It's a date then.
We say goodbye with a kiss like usual before Aspen has to leave. I finish up the last couple of bites of my croissant on my own, watching out the window. At one point, even the bell. Whoa, what the? Okay, let me just move the mic back. At one point, even the bell house wasn't. The fuck? Oh, that. My brain is fucking horrible. At one point, even the bell house wasn't here. I don't know what was, but it's hard for me to picture it as anything else. Stop shaking. Why do you keep shaking? I'm not shouting. I'm not shouting. Why is my mic so sensitive all of a sudden? Wait a second. It was... Oh, well, that's better. I won't start shaking like crazy for no reason. Anyways. At one point, it was just someone's dream. An idea or a half-formed concept. It took a lot to turn that into the little restaurant that I know and love today. For the new Bell House, Aspen will be responsible for the start of its story. For making it more than just a dream. I have a lot of faith in her, though. Aspen's great at stories. Seeing her enthusiasm and determination return is such a relief. Her path forward is clear, at least for now. I'm glad for her, I really am. But her shaking off because it's really annoying and for a reason. Yeah, that helped me. Anyways, still, I can't help but wish I had something like that for myself too. A goal to work towards, or a dream to fulfill. At first, Juliet let me work at the library so that I could have some structure in my everyday life, and to get more used to being around other people. But that's not something I really need as much anymore. I don't mind my job, but the fact that I'm here right now and can come and go whenever I feel like kind of proves that what I do isn't 100% necessary. Still, it's home. It's a place to go back to while I figure out what's next. So, after cleaning up my trash and finishing my drink, that's exactly what I do. I keep stuttering. I keep tripping over words. At breakfast, Juliet and I sit at the table. There is a place for 3 people, like usual.
I forgot to tell you. Aspen won't be here today.
Oh, I see. Is everything all right?
Yeah, she's just busy. She said she doesn't know how often she'll be able to come by until the new Bell House opens.
I understand. She must have a lot of responsibilities to take care of right now.
Mm-hmm. I was worried about how much work she has to do. I still am. But she's pretty confident in herself. So maybe it'll be okay.
I trust Aspen.
It's only
I believe in
natural
her.
that you'd be concerned. You care about her a lot. I'm sure she's glad that you worry about her, even when she tells you not to. I have faith in her too. When Aspen puts her mind to something, she's unstoppable.
good. We're for now.
One of my earliest memories with her came from her first visit to the library when she was trying to find a certain book on the shelves. Only it wasn't there because I was reading it at the time and had it in my room. She asked if she could borrow it, promising to return it the next day. I told her she could take more time with it, but she stayed up all night
Aww.
reading it and brought it back like she promised. It wasn't a short book by any means either. I imagine she's treating her new role with similar focus and determination, which is why I'm sure she'll succeed in the end.
Yeah, you're right. I can't spend all my time worrying about her. I have to trust her to live her life too. Even though I said that last time, I understand it better this time.
That's good. It can be a difficult lesson to learn.
That's for sure.
Juliet laughs, and then we start to eat. It's a little quiet without Aspen, or even the sound of her silverware. Especially since for Juliet, having a meal is entirely symbolic anyway. I try to eat fast, just to get it over with. When we finish and clean up, Juliet lingers around the kitchen for a bit. That way, that means she has something to say. Sure enough, once everything else is done, she clears her throat.
Miho, there's something I wanted to ask you.
Sure. What's up?
Earlier this morning, I saw that I'd received a reply to a message that I never expected to be answered.
Hmm?
A couple months ago, I managed to find someone online that I thought might be related to your friend Zhang Ying, and reached out to confirm.
Oh. Okay,
They never got back to me, and so I didn't mention it to you.
that's fair.
But then today, she finally responded and said that yes, they are distant relatives. She said that if you'd like to talk with her, she'd be happy to tell you a bit about Xiangying, or at least what she knows. Is that something you'd like to do?
Oh. Wow. I guess you wouldn't be shocked that I never even thought about them maybe having a family.
I thought that might be the case. You're welcome to think about it and get back to me later.
In my mind, Jong-in was always alone. But Jong-in was alone, but with me. They belonged to the forest and to the rest of the world equally. But it makes sense that they weren't really alone. That the people who love them too. It hits me that there's so much I don't know about Jong-in. Really, I barely know anything. Every minute shared with me only represented a very small part of their life. In a sense, they can't supposed to be a stranger. I'm a little afraid, but knowing knowing more about them could change how I feel about them too. But I decide it's a risk that I'm willing to take. I'd rather know more about who they really were.
Nah, I don't need to. I'd like to talk to her.
Wonderful. I'll let her know then. I believe she's in America, so our times are fairly different. Shall I see if tomorrow evening...
Yeah, we're in
would work?
Wellington. Is it on America? Where's Wellington? I don't know.
Sure.
I
That
could
sounds
Google it.
good.
I feel like that.
Thanks. And thanks for tracking her down and messaging her in the first place.
It's my pleasure. It's what I specialize in, after all.
That's
I'll
fair,
let
I
you know
guess.
tonight if I hear back from her.
About your bats and whatnot.
Okay. I'm going to see Aspen when she gets off work, but I'll be back sometime this evening.
I'll see you then. Have a great day, Miho.
Have a good sleep.
There's a lot that I'm looking forward to talking with. There's a lot that I'm looking forward to talking about with Aspen today. I sit myself in the library and take care of my chores like usual, but it's hard to think about anything else. The afternoon sunshine draws us to the park once Aspen gets up. Sorry, I can't fucking read. Afternoon sunshine draws us to the park once Aspen gets off work. Instead of staying indoors at her apartment or the library, she tells me all about her day at work. In exchange, I tell her about my upcoming call.
Wow! Juliet's incredible, isn't she? I had no idea she was setting that up.
Me
Brain.
neither.
Bro.
It was a total surprise. She said she sent the message a long time ago, though, and it took months before she got a response.
Well, I can certainly empathize with that. At least in this case, the response turned out to be a good one.
Hopefully. I'm a little bit nervous, though.
About what?
Just about what they might say. What if it turns out Jongin is totally different from what I thought? What if they were actually a terrible person?
Then that would be true whether you knew it or not. They do say ignorance is bliss for a reason. If I were you, though, I would want to know the truth no matter what.
That's fair.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe someday I'll be able to do something without worrying about it the whole time.
If you figure out the secret, let me know. Lena sure isn't sharing it. I think she's somewhere around here too.
As
At
usual.
least she mentioned that before she clocked out.
Is that
Usually
why
is.
we're here?
Not at all. I adore Lena, but I'll be spending more time with her than without her for the next month. I just wanted to appreciate the fresh air before I forget what it's like.
Yes, being trapped in that new cafe that's opening up soon.
Put a ton of plants in your bell house too. Did you know that plants help us breathe? I just learned that on TV.
Oh, Miho, I love you.
I was aware, but I'm glad for you.
I love you, Miho.
Plants are on
Horrible.
the list, though. I also want to put in a reading corner with a small library for people to browse while they visit.
Cute.
Regina's allowing me to set it up and decorate how I see fit, so I'm being as self-indulgent as I can.
Of course, you love them books. Of course, you'd add a library in the corner.
A cafe with a library in it? That sounds perfect for you. Where would you get the books from? Juliet?
That's a bit
I
cute.
was planning to ask her for some, yes, as well as a few from my own collection, and
You're
Lena's,
on.
and anyone else who'd like to donate.
Ooh,
Maybe
fun.
Juliet would even let us share books, so you can return them at either place.
How would you
Ooh.
keep track of it?
Interesting.
Would you hire someone to do it?
Well, I happen to know a certain someone who's very experienced in that position.
Who could it be? Who could it ever be?
But no, we would simply have to use the honor system, like Juliet used to.
Yes, that makes sense. That makes
I
sense.
still don't get how she doesn't worry about people stealing them. I mean, I do, but I don't.
That's fair.
I think it makes sense. Maybe it's even impossible to steal from a library. After all, they're meant for sharing books.
Yeah, that's fair. Also, why would you steal a book to begin with?
If you take one home and give it to a friend instead of returning it, it still served its purpose.
Yes.
Or if you hold on to it for years and then only return it much later, you still returned it. That's the beauty of books. They can always wait. My New Year's resolution is to get through at least half of my backlog, personally.
You know how big is that, Aspen?
Your New Year what?
Oh, yeah.
Resolution. It's like a goal that you set for yourself for the year. And then usually give up on by February, but let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Ah, yes, of course, yeah. You're gonna give them the resolution by February.
That sounds neat. Did you have one this year?
Yeah.
I did. It was to finish and hopefully release a book.
Oh. Okay.
It may not have come
Whoops.
true, but I'm happy with the outcome, all the same.
I should try to think of one for next year myself. Maybe I'll try to get through half my reading backlog too.
What reading backlog?
Do you have one of those?
No.
Nope. So I'm doing good already.
Oh, Miho, you're cracking me up.
Maybe it'll be to read 10 books. Or 100 books. I don't know what a good number to try is.
Hello, hello, Possum. Welcome, welcome. As you can see, I'm on the Aspen route. This is my first playthrough ever. Chapter 5, as the title says. And Miho has a reading resolution of getting through our reading backlog, which consists of literally nothing. So, yay for her.
Probably somewhere in between. You don't have to make it about reading, though.
Aspen.
You don't have to make one at all if you don't want to.
Girl.
Only if it helps motivate you.
The glasses. Aspen. Named after a tree. An aspen tree. Aspen. See?
I'll think about it. I've been thinking that I need something else to do with my life as it is.
Something else?
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, the library's fine and all. But I'm not really excited about it the same way you are about the Bell House.
Makes sense though, I guess. I live there. Literally. I live in the library.
Yesterday, I was thinking about how Juliet doesn't need me to help her. She just gave me the job as a favor, even if she said otherwise. I don't really need that favor anymore, though.
There.
You've outgrown it.
Yeah. I have other things I can rely on.
One of them links eyes with me.
Always.
Not far away, there's an empty bench alongside the path. An aspen leads us to it so we can sit down. We've been walking for almost an hour now, so a break is nice. Aspen takes off her hat to perch on the ground beside us, between us, while I stretch out my legs. We're not the only ones out here enjoying the afternoon. The park's alive and bustling. Bikers, joggers, dog walkers, and skaters all dodge around each other. Plus the regular pedestrians like Aspen and me. Some of the dogs even run around off their leashes, ditching the road entirely. People are playing all kinds of sports too. I can even tell the difference between some of them by now. I'm still a bit confused on what football is though. Do you use your feet? Or do you throw a ball with your hands? What is football? I even spot Lena, though she doesn't see us. Aspen pokes me in the side.
Oh, look over there. Think he's lost?
Do I think it is? That's a dog. I thought it was gonna be Tommy. Across from us, a dog is sniffing around. There's a break in the foot traffic around us. Around us for now, so I don't see anyone watching him.
His owner's probably around here somewhere. Maybe he ran ahead of them.
The dog looks over at us, like he knows we're talking about him. He takes a couple steps towards us, sniffing the air, his tail waggling just a little bit.
Oh, come here. Here, puppy.
The puppy, Aspen's right about that, slowly creeps closer towards us. Aspen's outstretched hand. I sit still, not wanting to spook him. He seems friendly, but cautious. 1 step, 2 steps. He never stops sniffing. Then he runs forward, bites the handle of Aspen's purse, and takes off with it. Aspen jumps to her feet.
Hey, stop. Come here.
The dog doesn't even look back as it runs. It runs away, dragging Aspen's purse with it. The contents start to spill out as they go. I'm after the puppy. Who's going further into the park, not wasting my breath shouting. I've been running way too much these past couple of months. I could transform, but I think that would probably scare him even more. I know better than to chase a dog, but I don't have much other choice. I hope I can just wear him out and then catch him. Glancing back, I see Aspen falling behind me, gathering up everything that she can. The puppy also looks back at us, every now and then, switching directions at random. Some of the other people who see us lunge for the dog and to try to block him off, but he dodges all of them and keeps running. I'm a little impressed. He zigzags again, but this time it's lucky for me, he's heading straight towards Lena.
Hey, Lena!
She spins around to see me, and I can tell she's trying to process what's happening. The dog is closer to her than he is to me.
Catch him!
Luckily, my words get through. Lena crouches, already warmed up. Ruby sees her and starts to go in a different direction, away from both of us.
Not so fast!
Lena jumps for him and flaps her wings to carry herself even further. She crashes to the ground just in front of the dog, who's scrambling over himself to try to stop and turn away.
Gotcha!
Run again. Both words make sense. I reach him just in time to grab him by the scruff of his neck. He immediately drops Aspen's purse like a thief who's been caught. Not that I would know. Aspen herself slowly approaches her arms full as she tries not to drop anything.
Not quite how I expected to end my workout today.
Thank you, Lena. You're literally a lifesaver.
Whoa! Aspen said literally! That means it's serious.
Truly. I make sure Aspen's purse is safe before I let go of the puppy, who has been tossing and turning in my arms. Aspen walks up and wags a finger at him.
And as for you, hasn't
Bad.
anyone taught you any
Bad.
manners?
Bad dog. Bad doggo. The dog walks away from us. Not very far. So we can watch instead. He reminds me a bit of Silver. Hope he doesn't turn into a person. That'd be awkward.
I've seen that dog around before. Pretty sure he's a stray. I haven't heard of him taking anyone's stuff like that, though.
Weird.
Got anything good in your purse?
Food, maybe?
Not if you're a dog. There's just...
While digging around in her now refilled purse, Aspen stops and then pulls out a smooth plastic wrapper.
I guess there's the other half of my lunch that I forgot about.
Oh, that would make sense. The dog wags his tail and barks in Aspen's direction, and she frowns.
This is what you were after, wasn't it? It really wasn't that good, I promise.
She unwraps the remains of a sandwich and tosses it to the dog, who gobbles it down just a couple bites before looking at us for more. If he's a stray, like Lena said, that will be the best meal he's had in days.
That's all I have.
Lena and I are both empty-handed.
What should we do with him? What if he's not a stray and someone's looking for him?
They must not be looking very hard. I've seen him a couple days in a row now.
See,
Poor thing. He seems so friendly
Hungry
when he
doggo,
isn't running
indeed.
off with
Doggo.
my things.
I stoop down to try to pet him, and he lets me. Even licks my hand a couple times.
Maybe we can take him back to the library with us. Juliet might know what to do.
Well, she is known for helping strays. I'm not sure how we'd get him back there, though.
I can carry him. He doesn't look too heavy.
And then I collapse in front of
Carry him?
Yeah?
Yeah, why not?
Ah, please.
If he'll let me
Right?
pick him up, at
Really?
least.
Just
Okay,
please
never
be
mind.
careful.
I will.
I crouch in and approach him slowly. Keep my hands out for him to sniff. I also try to wag my own tail to help reassure him. Instead of running away, he just flomps onto his back, asking for a belly rub. I do that with one hand while I slide the other beneath him. He's so lean that I can see his ribs. Then I scoop him up. He whoops in surprise, but doesn't try to escape. Once I get him situated, he's pretty calm.
That wasn't so bad.
Both Aspen and Lena crowd in to pet him now that he can't get away. He sits there and takes it all in stride.
Okay, he's not that heavy, but let's get going anyway.
All right, I'll text Juliet so that she isn't totally blindsided when we get there. See you tomorrow, Lena.
Later, boss. Later, Miho. Oh, later, puppy.
Still leaning against my shoulder, the dog doesn't mind when Aspen moves his paw to wave goodbye to Lena. Boop, 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 boop. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye, swan lady. Although the dog starts to squirm at some point, I manage to carry him all the way home. He sheds and definitely smells like a stray dog, but I don't mind it too much. You can't help it after all. Aspen also holds him a couple times. For some reason, he's more angsty with her than with me, so her turns don't last as long. When we arrive at the library, Juliet's waiting just inside.
Oh my, isn't he precious?
Really? The puppy thumps his tail against my chest as Juliet comes over to pet him. People just can't stop themselves from doing that, I guess.
Let's take him upstairs.
I don't want to set him down here and with the last few library patrons and all of the books. Other than his initial chase, he's been pretty calm, but that could change once he's recharged. We all go to my room, where I finally put the dog on the floor. He starts sniffing around immediately. Although there isn't that much to sniff, I watch for any signs of trouble. But he's good.
I like him a lot more when he isn't robbing me.
He just didn't know how to ask politely.
There's a half-full glass of water on my desk, and I set it down on the ground so the dog can drink some. He slurps up as much as he can. The glass is too big for his tongue to reach out. All of it. I can't fucking read.
I'll go fetch a bowl of water and see if we have anything that would be safe for him to eat. And then we can talk about what to do with him.
Aspen sits down on my bed, but I sit on the floor. The dog walks over to sniff me.
Seems he's already taken a liking to you.
Quite interesting. His fur is stiff and coarse, and he's bony. He can't be that old, which makes me think he must have spent most of his short life as a stray. Julie returns soon, setting the water and also a bowl with some banana slices, bread, and slices of cheese. Slice of cheese.
It's not the healthiest
It's still
meal,
got slice.
but it should keep his belly full for a little bit.
Dog digs in like he didn't just eat half a sandwich earlier. The bowl slides across the floor from the force of his munching, and he smacks his lips while he tries to chew the banana.
Is it okay if he stays here for a while? I'll take care of him. Even if it's just until we find his real owner, if he has one. I don't want to just kick him back out.
Oh, heavens! I wouldn't dream of just tossing him back out on the street. But taking care of a pet, even for a couple of days, is a lot of work. Are you sure?
I guess.
I'm sure. Whatever it is, I'll do it.
I've only had this puppy for a couple hours, but I already know that I don't want anything bad to happen to him. Scrounging for food, stealing, not having anywhere to go back to. They're all things I can relate to.
I don't see why not, then. I'll keep an eye out as well for anyone who may be searching for a lost dog like him.
Thanks. I don't think he has any people, though. I think he's all on his own.
You may be right. Still, we should do our best to make sure.
Good to make sure.
Right. I'll look out for any posters or missing signs.
After he finishes his meal, the dog flops down by me. He stares at me, but doesn't move, instead fighting to keep his eyes open. Now that he's eaten more, he doesn't seem really totally exhausted. He does seem
You
totally
must be in
exhausted.
doggy paradise right now after spending a few days in the park. I know I sure would be.
I look up at Juliet, smiling.
Yeah. I think he'll like staying here.
Forever though? I'm not sure. I'm worried about that. How long will this dog last? I'm worried. When I wake up, the dog is already awake and staring at me from the floor, ready to go. The two of us go downstairs and join Juliet for breakfast, where she's prepared another bowl of fruit and bread for the dog. He eats it, but even if he's only going to be here a couple of days, he'll eat more than people food.
I think I'm gonna go buy some dog food for him. I can get that at most stores, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, it shouldn't be difficult to find.
I check my wallet. I have plenty of money since Juliet pays me for my library work, but there's hardly even ever anything I need to buy myself. This will be as good as use for as any.
Do you mind watching him while I go?
Not at all.
Thanks.
I kneel down to pet the dog's head. I've already learned one of his favorite spots, right at the base of his ears. I give him a good scratch.
Okay, stay here with Juliet, alright?
Although he stays put for a moment, he follows me to the front door. Before I can leave, I gently push him back with my foot.
No, you can't come with me.
The dog paws on my leg, looking at me expectantly. Once more, I let him outside to relieve himself. And after he finishes that, he doesn't go back into the library without me.
You're not gonna take no for an answer, are you?
Guess not. Sighing, I accept my fate. I let Juliet know about the changes of plans, and then the dog and I start walking. He stays near me, sometimes going off the path to sniff something, but he always returns. Each time he starts to walk away, I feel a tinge of worry that he won't come back. That possibly is just something that I have to accept. Even if some details of my past have gone hazy for me, I still clearly remember how it feels to run and escape. The dog decides that's what he needs to do, and it's not my place to stop him. Still, I'm relieved every time he stops sniffing and returns to my side. Eventually, we get into town and I found a pet store. The sign on the front window saying that dogs are allowed inside, which is what I was hoping for. The bell rings when we walk through. It doesn't sound pretty. It doesn't sound as pretty as the one in the bell house. I wander around until I find the dog food section. There are more choices here than I thought. Big bags, small bags, red bags, blue bags. I'm not sure which one to pick. The dog sniffs each of them in turn. I watch to see if one gets his interest more than the others. But it doesn't seem like he's picky. I'm trying to find which one has the most similar looking dog on the front.
Guess I'll go with this one.
On the way to the front, the dog rears off down into an aisle, and I follow behind to see what got his attention. Of course, it's the toy aisle. Just like the food section, there are dozens on display. He sniffs them all even more fiercely than the kibble. There's a small basket of plastic toys on the ground. He pulls one out with his mouth. It looks like a cartoon squirrel. His tail squeaks when he bites it. He gives it a good shake, getting a few more squeaks in the process. His tail wags even faster than his head. He looks up to me eagerly. I reach for the toy, but he hops away and then crouches down, tail still going, daring me to try to take it again. I do, but he instantly jumps out of reach once more, shaking and squeaking the toy again too.
Okay, you can keep it. But come on, I gotta pay.
It's been a long time since I've stolen anything. Now that I can actually pay for things, I can't see myself stealing again. I feel kind of guilty about things I took in the past, but I only ever took what I had to in order to survive. Once I had support from the others in my life and the help I needed to get my feet on the ground, stealing stopped being something I felt like I had to do. At the counter, I use 2 fingers to hold the sloppy toy. The cashier can scan it before returning it to the dog. Put the bag of food under one arm and then start walking home. Reach a crosswalk, arriving right at the stoplight. Arriving right as the stoplight changes to send traffic across our path. Come to a halt while I wait. Which arm I use to carry that bag since it's getting sore. But the puppy doesn't stop with me. Instead, he doesn't even look back as he runs out into the road, eager to get back to the library. A car horn blares as it barrels towards us down the road, too close to be able to brake in time. I feel like I'm moving in slow motion as I drop the bag of food, dash out into the road, despite knowing how dumb that is. I grab the dog as I sprint by, barely hauling ourselves out of the way of a passing car. The driver, understandably, gives me a rude gesture as he goes by. The dog, meanwhile, looks at me as if offended by the rough treatment, with my hand still holding him tightly.
You dummy! You could have died right there!
The squirrel toy in his mouth squeaks as he squirms in my grasp. That was way too close for comfort. If I'd been just one step further away, I would have been too late to rescue the dog. I probably would have found myself hit by the troubles too. Or my troubles too. Behind us and across the street, the bag of food lies on its side, while some kibble strewn across the ground, from a spot where it tore when I dropped it. If the dog wants to run away or stay with me is up to him, but I can't just let him get himself hurt or worse. I only have one chance. Guess I got. I hoist the dog and hold them with one arm, like the dog food. Just like the dog food bag just like the dog food that I go back and retrieve before we start walking again. He doesn't squirm as much as he did yesterday. It helps a lot, but still, by the time we make it back to the library, both my arms feel like they're ready to fall off. When I set the dog down, he goes up to the library door as if nothing happened, waiting for me to let him in. I guess in his mind, maybe nothing did happen. He's got no clue how lucky he was. A long time ago, Juliet said that sometimes your best is all you can do. That goes for puppies too. If I'd been born a city dog instead of a fox, I doubt I'd be much different either. Still, I have to think it's a miracle that any dog makes it to adulthood, especially strays like him. When it's finally time for my meeting, Juliet helps me get set up on her computer and then lets me take it to my room. Can't read. I'm reading really slowly. My brain is really shit. I adjust it straight until I can see it properly, and then I wait. My nervousness keeps building until I nearly jump when the call finally comes through. As the ringtone plays, I take a deep breath, then hit accept. A tiny person-shaped bubble in the notification dissolves, and for a second there's just a black screen. And then a woman appears. Then the image comes into focus. She's squinting at the screen, probably waiting just like me. But then she smiles and waves as she's able to see me.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Miho. Nice to meet you. Thanks for talking to me.
I'm Minsa. No problem.
Vinso.
Gotta say, I was shocked when I got your friend's email at first. I thought it was gonna turn out to be some kind of scam, and eventually she'd ask for money.
I mean, I'm joking.
I'm still a bit confused, though. So you were friends with my ancestor?
Yeah, I don't know how. Actually, I do know how, but don't question it.
Sort of. I met them when I was really young. I was just a regular fox back then.
Oh,
Wait. A fox, like with 4 legs and pointy ears?
more. See, I can do it right
Yeah.
now.
After I met Jongin, I turned into the person I am today.
Well, appearance-wise, not personality and stuff.
Whoa. So that was a long time ago, huh? But you look even younger than me. Oh, that's just not fair.
Sorry.
Trust me, it has its downsides.
Both of us laugh, and I can't help but be relieved that she already feels easy to talk to.
That explains a lot, at least. So, Jongin. You're the second person to ask me about them this year, you know?
Huh?
That's 2 times more than most years.
Huh?
Who was the first?
These guys at some archaeological society who are putting on an exhibition.
Oh,
They
okay.
wanted permission to display some of their old works.
Okay, that makes sense. I saw it.
Are you the only family they have?
The only one who can use a computer, at least. The only reason I know any of the history is because I had to.
Eh?
Should I tell you everything I know and then you can ask me any questions? No promises if I'll be able to answer them, though.
Sure, that works for me.
Alright.
Let's see. Well, I'm not related to them by blood, for one thing. They didn't have any kids of their own.
Real? Not surprised.
But
Yeah.
they got married and they and their wife adopted several children.
Oh.
I'm related to one of those kids.
Okay, that makes sense.
They were part of the young bun class, a noble and a scholar.
Oh, interesting. Yeah?
But rather than be stuck at home suffering through court life, they hid their identity and snuck away to travel the world instead.
Fun. Minso speaks with a practiced tone. She's given the speech a few times. Still, I listen with rapt attention, memorizing every detail.
They spent years on the go, seeing everything they could, before finally coming back home to Korea to settle down and start a family. While they were away, they kept a journal and wrote letters back to their beloved. Although calligraphy was something they were taught from a young age, they began practicing as an artist during their travels. Sometimes, the letters they sent would include paintings of the things they'd seen, or they'd include little drawings in their journal. Something else that they started to do was give a note to the people they met on their journey, with a little message of appreciation or wishes.
Oh,
My husband always says they remind him of fortune cookies.
that's funny.
Oh, I actually have one of those scrolls myself.
I brought my scroll down from my room just in case it came up like this. I unfurled it for the first time since Halloween. Please be happy. I turn the scroll around to hold it to the camera so the Minso can see. He leans in again, looking close.
Yeah, that's definitely theirs, all right. And they gave it to you when you were just a fox?
Yeah.
Yeah. Although, I couldn't read it until a couple months ago.
God, it's so hard to read their handwriting, right? I'm like,
No, I
if they
can't
were
read
born
shit.
today, they totally would have been a doctor. I have a few of them myself, although they're up in the office. Grandma has like 90. She says she has one for every year she's been alive, and I definitely believe that.
Jeez, that's a lot. How many did they give out altogether?
Who knows? If someone told me it was thousands, I'd believe them. I don't know if they gave one to every person they met, but it must have been close.
Huh. I thought mine must be pretty rare.
Hey, you don't feel so
It's
bad.
still special. However many there were, I'm sure most haven't lasted this long. not everyone got a full scroll either.
Huh?
But no. They're not some priceless artifacts that'll sell for a ton of money or something. Otherwise, I'd be talking to you from my mansion by the beach.
That's fair, Minso.
That's fine. I'd never sell mine anyway. It's way too important to me.
Yeah, I figured. I'm sure it wasn't easy to keep it safe and in such good condition.
That's for sure. We've been through a lot together.
That's good. I'm sure that's what they would have wanted.
For a moment, Minso tells me more about Zhong-Yin's adventures. Even though it's hard for me to picture some of the people and places involved, I still pay close attention. Then, all of a sudden, Minso's eyes go wide like she's had some huge revelation.
Oh, I'm an idiot! Hold on, I'll be right back. I have to show you.
Okay? Gets up and runs off screen, leaving me with the view of an empty chair and a bookshelf instead. I looked down at my scroll. Somehow, I always assumed it was one of a kind, or at least something rare and meaningful. But somehow, finding out that it wasn't the case didn't really bother me. That it's nice to think that they met so many people to be grateful to, or who left an impact on them. If there were thousands of scrolls like mine out there, then that's not a bad thing at all. After a few seconds, Minso returns to the computer, sits down carrying a scroll herself.
This is one that I had in the office. I can't believe I didn't think about this sooner.
Hmm?
Sometimes they'd include a butterfly in their signature or hide one in their paintings because they said they were inspired by butterflies to travel with the wind.
Huh?
But then, at some point, instead of butterflies, they started to include something else instead. Can you see her?
You'll have to scroll up to her camera, like I did, focusing on one of the bottom corners. There, just below where they signed their name, it's a little picture of a fox. Oh, I see it. Cute. Of me?
I should have thought of it when you mentioned foxes earlier. At one point, they started using the alias Horim for their work.
What do you mean?
I don't know if you speak any Korean, but Horim means fox forest.
Aw.
After they started using that name, foxes would show up in their art for the rest of their life.
Drawing consists of just a few little brushstrokes that make a head and ears, face. Still, it feels like seeing a photograph of myself. I can picture them smiling as they drew it, as they thought of me. I'd always wondered if our time together was as important to them as it was to me. Hearing that they chose that name practically confirmed it.
Thanks for showing me.
I can feel the of tears, but somehow I managed to keep my composure.
No problem. Grandma's gonna freak out when I tell her I talked to you. I've told you basically all I know, but were there any questions you had?
Yeah, I did have one. I'm a little afraid to know, but
Take a deep breath. They were human, so my question is only natural, but still. Exhaling, I make myself ask.
how'd they die?
Minso smiles.
Old and peacefully. Their wife outlived them, but not by too long.
That's nice, I guess.
They had the typical funeral that was expected when they passed away, but then they actually had one final secret request to their family.
Hmm?
They wanted to be cremated. Back then, it was basically unheard of, especially for someone of their stature. But they really wanted it to be done so that they could have their ashes scattered. That way, the wind could pick them up, and they could keep traveling forever.
Aw, that's so cute. What the hell?
So then... It sounds like they were happy.
Oh yeah. They told their kids that they had no regrets, because they'd live as full and rewarding a life as they could.
Aw? I'm afraid that if I try to say too much, I'd start to cry. So I'll just nod instead while I find my voice.
I'm glad to know that.
Of course, of course. It's only right that you know, considering how many foxes showed up in their work.
I think Minso can tell that I'm having a tough time holding it together, but their voice takes a more sympathetic tone.
Was there anything else you wanted to know?
I don't think so. You told me everything I wanted to ask. I only found out their name a couple months ago. Until then, I just thought of them as my person in my head. So, really, I've learned a lot more than I could have hoped for.
Aww. Well, I'm happy to help. Your friend has my contact info, so you can message me anytime if you think of anything else. I guess, if you think about it, you and I are kind of like family, right?
Aw?
Since it sounds like they raised you just as much as they raised their kids. Like my whatever.
Whatever.
Really?
She laughs.
Sure, why not? The more the merrier, right? I think that's how they would have seen it too.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Family. I may have a girlfriend, but family is something new to me. We were called us sisters, but just barely. Makes my heart warm.
No problem. I'm sure we'll talk again, so I won't say goodbye. Instead, how about see you later?
I'd like that. Although, there's just one thing.
What's that?
I explain my magic and how everyone forgets me after a day. Nodding sympathetically, Minso agrees to join my list of people who check in with me every day. I'm glad she's understanding, but it's just another reminder that I need to find a better, more permanent solution for people forgetting me. The second our call ends, I let out a sob I was holding back. I thought I was done crying over Jong-in, but apparently not. Except this time, it's the good kind of crying. After all my searching, even after their death, I finally got the answer to the question my heart wanted to know. They cared about me too. Try to imagine what their home must have been like. Their wife and kids. I'm sure they were all smiles. Still, it's difficult for me to imagine how they looked. Instead, I can picture them. Traveling just like when we met. Moving from place to place freely. Wherever the wild took them. Took me, really. Someday, I'd like to return to some of those places I've been before. And see them properly. Instead of just blindly searching for one person and ignoring everything else. I'd like to visit them with some of the same wonder that Jong-in felt. More than anything, I wish I could tell them about what I've experienced and learned on this path they set me down. Even though I can't, there's one thing I can now say for sure. They would have been proud of me. A few minutes later, I'm still trying to pull myself together when the dog comes up and paws at my leg, insistently. I can't help but smile. Whatever I'm going through doesn't matter to him at all. He just wants to eat and go outside, of course. My life and tears don't really make a difference to him, one way or another. And really, that helps keep me grounded. I'm glad to have some closure when it comes to Jong-in and to know that they were just the kind of person I imagined them to be. While their kindness and memory will never stop being special to me, I finally feel like I could say they're in the past. Time passed quicker than I would have ever imagined, but it's still past. It moved on, and now I need to too. I open my eyes and blow my nose, stand up, and the dog spins in an excited circle as I reach for the door. He turns right for the kitchen, stopping right outside the cabinet, where I store his food. His nose quivering as he huffs like a pig. He waits for me to catch up.
Didn't take you long to get used to this, did it?
He barks at me, just a single, short yap, but I can imagine him telling me to hurry up.
Alright, give me a second.
I grab a clear bowl from the cupboard and scoop him out some dinner. As the kibble clatters into the dish, she excitedly prances about, getting his snout into the bowl before it's even on the floor. Tail wags as he chows down, inhaling half of his meal without even chewing. I reach towards him, but he growls at me with a mouthful of dog food.
Chill, I'm not taking it. I'd pour my own bowl if I wanted some. Besides, I don't think I could stand the taste anymore.
Huh? Anymore? Still, I keep my distance, just so I don't spook him. Finally, after he's done, he leaves the kitchen and heads right back up towards my room. He got comfortable here much faster than I did. I wonder if it feels like home yet. After taking yesterday off, I sit down at the library desk with the dog for the first time. This is usual pacing and sniffing, since this is the first time he's ever really explored this area. Keep an eye on him while I start on my day's tasks, but he just flops on the floor near my foot. Noses. Eventually, the first person who needs help comes up to the desk, carrying a couple of books with them.
Hi there, I'd like to... Oh my god!
Sound of a new voice gets the puppy standing up. The lady across from me melts when he sees her.
He's adorable. Can I pet him?
Sure.
He lets you. It's not really up to me. If he doesn't want to be pet, he'll just walk away. The next person to show up does more or less the same thing, and the person after them too. As the day gets later, the library gets busier, and at least half of the people who come in ask to pet the dog. I'm pretty sure some of the help requests I get are just excuses to come see him. I handle it all pretty well, though, even leaving my side to go explore and visit with folks himself. Over? A little bit later, after lunchtime, the front door opens slowly. I look up from the form I'm working on to see one of the last people I expected.
Silver!
She isn't wearing her mask, so I get a clear view of her face. She narrows her eyes at the name, but cordially all the same.
Miho.
Hi. I haven't seen Silver since Halloween. After she gave back my scroll and disappeared into the night. More than once, I've thought about going up to Mount Victoria to look for her, but haven't. It felt like I should give her some space last time. She stops at the desk standing across from me. Surrounded by books and other guests, plus being in the broad daylight, she looks a bit out of place. A short bark from next to me startles her. She blinks in surprise as the dog runs around the desk to stand at her feet and yaps at her directly.
A friend of yours?
Something like that. I found him at the park, and I've been taking care of him for a couple days.
He's a dog in the true sense of the word, then.
Really?
As far as I know, yeah, you finally got it right.
Not the dog this time. The dog is the dog. Her lips curl, but into a smile, not a sneer. Although she doesn't try to pet him, he looks down at the dog with some amusement. He stopped barking and instead sniffs her furiously, looking between her and me like he's trying to figure out something.
He seems happy.
You can read his aura?
No.
No? I don't need to, though.
I'm happy that Silver's back and is like chilling. Or open. That's nice. Petting she's either boring or not a threat, the dog comes back to my side and lies down again, gnawing quietly at his chew toy. Sylvia looks back to me, but then her eyes narrow again.
Your bean.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
stop glowing. Take my necklace. Take out my necklace and hold it so that she can see the cracks starting to appear. Oh yeah, it's still cracking.
It started doing this a couple days ago.
Oh, I think I have an idea. I think I get it. Okay. Keep your distance. She inspects it warily. In the palm of my hand, where the bead itself sits, I can feel a faint pulse like a heartbeat, although it doesn't sync up with my own.
So not much longer then.
Right.
It feels a little awkward to acknowledge. Like I'm beating her in a race. I didn't mean to participate in, but there's not any point in denying it yet either.
I'm kinda scared of what's gonna happen next, to tell you the truth.
Scared? Why?
The unknown.
Change, I guess.
Denho. Sky Fox. Just thinking the word summons visions of blue skies and rolling forests in my mind. Pulse in my palm quickens.
Hey, I have a question. What do you think would happen if I broke it?
Broke what?
Bead.
This.
I hold my bead up closer. Takes an instinctive half step backwards.
If I just crushed it or got rid of it instead of swallowing it. If that's even possible.
Spindly breaks that cover the bead make it look like it could fall apart at any second. Like even if a light wind shatter it. Let me imagine what Silver must be thinking. She's probably shocked that I even asked. She keeps her scorn.
On the Sweet Life on Deck with
no.
Hannah Mon.
Fuck. Stop my YouTube video. God damn it. Oh. Bad. Bad headphone. She keeps her scowl. Keeps her any scorn she's feeling off her face. Finally, she shrugs.
I know not, nor why you would even consider such a thing. Though I have a guess. The magic within our fox bead is as much a part of us as our breath and blood. Perhaps there is no life without it. Or perhaps we'd be no different than beasts.
You mean you think I'd turn back into a fox?
Maybe. Maybe not. I couldn't say. I've never heard of any of her sisters ever trying.
A lump forms in my throat, and I force back down.
I never thought of that. It makes sense though, huh? Since it was the bead that made me what I am.
Keep bouncing. And I don't know why it keeps like registering a sound. There's no sound happening. Oh, weird. He jabs a finger in my face, hand hovering above my neck. Hovering over my necklace.
Shut up.
Huh?
Huh?
I only said it was possible. I doubt it would happen. Either way, how dare you? Your bead is but a means to an end. It may have given you a chance, but it was you who took it.
Oh, that's nice. That's so kind of you, Silver. What the fuck?
Every step you've taken has been your own. It made you nothing but capable.
Silver holds her arm out, putting her shining bead over into clear view.
Whoever or whatever you are now, you can never be a normal fox again, even were you to take the form of one. Still, what power your being does offer has been ever in your service. should you choose to discard it. I fail to see why it wouldn't respect your final wish.
Up close like this, I'm able to see Silver's bracelet clearly. First time. Light makes it difficult, but not impossible. Although her bead is plain and round, nearly identical to the non-magical ones on my necklace, hers narrows at the middle and then widens again, like an hourglass. A few colorful bands run across it, almost too narrow to see. The red one, a blue one, and even a silver one. When I squint, I can even see a faint spring green one as well. There are others, but I can't see what they are before Silver shoves her hand into her pockets, burying the light. I put my necklace back on.
Thanks. I feel a lot better hearing you say that.
I told you so. To think otherwise would be insulting.
In Silver's language, that's just how they say, "You're welcome."
Anyway, none of that is the reason I came here. I've come to keep my end of a promise.
Oh. You're leaving.
I'm leaving tomorrow.
What? So soon?
I guess. New Year's and whatnot. The news hits me like a punch in the gut. Even though she told me she was planning this a long time ago.
Soon? I've already stayed longer than I intended. There's nothing more for me to be had here.
Aww.
That's not true. There's
nothing more to be found, I should say.
Abruptly, her voice softens. For maybe first time ever, the first tone is gentle.
Your path may end here for now, but mine goes ever on. Perhaps someday it will come to a similar end, but not today, nor tomorrow. Surely you understand.
For a long time, I've known her. For as long as I've known her, I've hoped I could get through to Silver somehow. Help her see some of the things I was blind to myself. Especially now, as we're just started becoming friends, or maybe now that we've been friends for a while. Either way, I wish she would stay. But also, it's like how I've already vowed to let the dog go if he wants to leave. I know I can't keep her here. And just like with Aspen, as much as I might want to do more, all I can do is try to support her. The rest is up to her. Silver.
Yeah. I understand. I'm coming to see you off, though.
Silver considers for a second.
Fine. I'll come to you here in the morning. Early. Be ready.
I will.
Thanks, Silver.
Good. I've said all I came to say then. Until tomorrow.
Till tomorrow. Without another word, she turns and heads for the door, disappearing, but just like she disappears into the trees. Ah! In the evening, after the library has already closed, there's a knock at the door while I'm downstairs. It sounds urgent.
Come in.
Oh! Where's Tommy? I open the door to find a worried-looking Gwen and Elijah.
Miho, is Tommy here?
Nope. I haven't seen him since we talked last night. Is he missing?
Yeah, he was at the house with me and I went to pick up some dinner. When I got back, he was gone.
We hope maybe he came here to visit you.
Although I still talk to all three of them every day, it's been a while since I've seen Tommy in person. Not since the last time he and Gwen came to the library, which was a couple weeks ago.
I haven't seen him. Did something happen?
Well,
Argument between you two? The two of them look at each other.
we finally got the divorce paperwork finalized.
Oh.
So now it's official.
See.
think he'd been hoping that maybe it wouldn't happen. But we just got everything signed, so now there's no going back.
Let me go get ready, and I'll help you look for him.
Thank you.
I let Juliet know what I'm doing. She agrees to look after everything while I'm gone. When I hurry back outside, Gwen and Elijah are waiting for me.
I don't think he could have gone too far. I just went down the street to pick up some pizzas, and Gwen came over as soon as I told her he was missing.
It's not the first time he's gone to hide, but he's never run away from home like this before.
Walk down the residential streets. Elijah and Gwen alternating calling for Tommy. I keep my eyes peeled, not just for him, but for Gerby too. None of us have any luck. Near the beach, we stop.
Maybe we should split up. I'll go check at the house again in case he went back. Gwen, maybe you can look around in town?
All right. But what about Miho?
I have an idea, actually. I'm gonna look around Mount Victoria.
Okay. We all have our phones, so we can call if one of us finds him. And then we can meet back here. All right?
Elijah and I both agree, and then we all go our separate ways. I head straight for the mountain, and then veer off the path into the woods. For a while, it seemed like Tommy was coming to terms with everything that was happening in his life. Was the shock of the divorce going through really enough to make him run away from home like this? I followed the path that Tommy and I took when we came here a while ago, until finally I reached what I used to be my den. It's in even worse shape than the last time I came here. Still, I'm not surprised to find Tommy sitting in the dirt that used to be its entrance, holding tightly onto Gerby.
Me!
There are tear stains around his eyes, and his clothes are filthy.
Hey there. Looking for bugs?
Shakes his head.
Your parents are looking for you, you know. They came to the library to see if you were there. They told me why you might have run away.
Tommy shakes his head again, but more vigorously.
I wasn't running away. I was chasing Gerby.
Huh? Fable wiggles in his arms.
You know how Gerby can fly, right? But look what happens now.
Cautiously, Tommy stands up and sets Gerby on the ground. Immediately, Gerby starts to rise in the air like a balloon, pulled up towards the sky. Tommy grabs him before he can get too high and hugs him to his chest again.
Gerby's not doing that himself?
The Fabled shakes his head, eyes looking somewhat sad.
No, it just started happening. First he kept hitting the ceiling, then when Dad went to go get dinner, he left the door open and Gerby blew outside. And I had to run to go catch him, and we ended up coming here. I was gonna go home, but I don't know what to do.
The tears start to sparkle in Tommy's eyes again. He sniffles. It's good to know he didn't leave because of the news about his parents, but the change with Gerby is a mystery.
Is it okay if we go meet up with your parents? I know they're pretty worried. And we can tell them about Gerby too.
Okay. I'm not letting go of him though.
That's fair. I lead us back towards where I split up with Tommy's parents. As we do, I call Gwen first.
Miho? Tell me you found him.
I did. Yeah. We're headed to the beach now.
Thank God. I'll see you there soon.
Just next is and I call Elijah next.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, I found Tommy, and we're going to the meetup spot right now.
You did? You're a lifesaver, Miho. Is he alright?
Fine.
Yeah, he's fine. He was just chasing after Gerby.
Gerby? I should have figured that out.
What do you mean?
Huh?
I'll tell you guys about it in person. See you in a bit.
What do you mean? Elijah, what do you know? We're the first ones to reach the shore. Tommy stands with his feet in the water, still clutching Gerby against his chest. He sniffles occasionally, but doesn't cry. Footsteps from behind us signal Gwen and Elijah's arrival. Tommy and I turn around, and both parents' eyes go wide.
Wait, is that?
Gerby?
Two of them are looking right at the little Fable, as Tommy realizes his expression almost changes to shock.
Can you see him?
Stunned, both of his parents nod. He waves his flower arms, looking thrilled to finally be noticed.
Well, I'll be. The little guy looks just like I imagined.
Something's wrong with Gerby. If I let go of him, he starts to blow away in the wind. I don't know what happened to him.
Is that why you ran out?
Yeah, I had to catch him.
With a small smile, Elijah steps forward and pats his son on the head.
I heard something kind of interesting, actually. I asked a lot of people from work if they'd ever heard of a fable like Gerby. And it turns out one of them had. He said that when he was young, he had a friend just like Gerby, his only friend. They kept him company when his parents were fighting, or when anything else that was bad was happening.
Oh, I get
Then,
it.
once he got older and things weren't as tough anymore,
That's why.
he said his friend had to leave him one day in order to go to help out the next kid who needed someone.
See,
He told me that fables like Gerby stick around until they know that their friends will be okay without them. And then it's time for them to go. Sounds like maybe this is that time for Gerby.
But I don't want him to go. I want him to stay.
Tommy can't keep himself from crying anymore. By the way he holds on to Gerby, his big tears roll down his face. In his arms, Gerby looks up at him kindly.
Sweetie, sometimes we don't have a choice. Sometimes we have to let things go, even if it's hard. From what Dad said, it sounds like Gerby knows you're tough and that you'll be okay, right? Don't you trust Gerby?
I do, but
Tommy holds out his arms so that he can face his friend properly.
is it true? Do you really have to leave?
Gerby's petals sag as he nods, patting Tommy's hands. Gwen wipes Tommy's eyes for him as Tommy pulls Gerby into a hug. His tears drip down onto Gerby's leaves like rain.
There's someone else who needs you, right?
So close to Tommy, Gerby nods again.
Okay.
Gwen and Elijah move to either side of Tommy, and I step away, keeping a respectful distance. It doesn't really involve me after all. Gwen kneels down in front of Tommy, smiling.
Thank you, Gerby, for being there for Tommy.
Yeah, thanks, Gerby.
Finally, it's Tommy's turn.
Thank you, Gerby, for being my friend. I'll miss you.
The big sniffle. Tommy manages to stop crying. Gerby leans against Tommy, top of his flowers, tickling Tommy's chin. Tommy giggles. Then, he opens his arms. Each of his parents take one of Tommy's hands as Gerby floats there for a second, and then slowly starts to rise. With his tiny little petals, Gerby waves goodbye, eyes crinkled, a smile. The breeze shakes his leaves, but doesn't knock him off his course. Up, up, up he goes, reaching Tommy's eye level, then Elijah's, and then floating above their heads. From behind them, I can see Tommy squeezing his parents' hands tightly.
Bye, Gerby.
For a final whispered farewell, Gerby continues to drift up until he's eventually out of sight. Tommy, Gwen, and Elijah remain there, standing in the shallow water. Quietly, sneak away, leaving the three of them on their own. I'm sure I'll hear all about it later when we have our regular call. But for now, I think they have a few things that they probably want to talk about together. As I make my way back to the library, smile. Glad that things worked out. It may take some time, but I know that They'll be alright in the end. After all, I trust Gerby too. Takes a village. Achievement takes a village. Judging by the knocking on my window, it turns out Silver and I have different ideas of early. I roll over in bed, not totally sure I'm not dreaming in time to see Silver gesture for me to gesture at me and then leap from the tree again. A few minutes and a lot of eye rubbing later. I'm ready and outside to meet her, with the dog staying behind without any arguments this time. Silver's carrying a small sack with her. I assume it contains all her belongings. It's tied shut with a small rope. She slings it over her shoulder. We don't exchange any words of greeting. Instead, we just start walking. As frustrating as it can be half the time, sometimes I also appreciate her willingness to just end a conversation, or not even start one. I don't have to worry about being a good enough conversationalist with her. It's easier to get more out of her silence than it is many others. The fact that she let me come along on this last trip, much less came to me, says a lot. We make our way through the streets, not seeing many other pedestrians or even cars. Only a handful of city buses, a couple of them roaming, run empty too. We walk faster than either Aspen or Juliet, but I'm able to keep pace easily. It makes our journey pretty short, though. The glass walls and security gates of Skyport come into view, waiting for us. It was the first place to greet us when we arrived, and now it's ready to see her off too. I wonder what Silver's thinking about right now. Is she feeling sad at all? And preparing to miss this place? Or is she ready to leave and potentially never return? Good or bad, I don't think she'll ever be able to forget her time in Wellington. Come to a stop just a few meters away from the entrance, facing the double glass doors. Our reflections stare back at us.
Call me Unbi.
Unbi.
Unbi?
Unbi? In Korean, Un for silver, Bi for rain. Silver rain. Although she doesn't turn to me, I can see her face turn red in the glass.
Yes, it's the name I've settled on. What do you think?
I think it's fitting. Hope she sees me grin.
I think it's perfect.
Good. Thank you.
Unbi.
I'm not sure what words to say. I've never said goodbye before.
It's okay. I never know either. I hope you'll come back someday. Or that we'll see each other again somewhere else.
Fate brought us together once. Perhaps it'll do so again.
So you think it was fate after all, huh?
Perhaps not.
She looks down at her wrist, surely thinking about her bead even though it's hidden.
If not fate, then shall we make a promise that neither of us can keep?
You haven't broken a promise to me yet.
We'll meet someday then.
Someday.
Perhaps you won't even recognize me. I might be someone else entirely.
Someday. I'm sure that I'll recognize you, though. You might change, but you'll still be you, no matter what.
Even if I'm Unbi now.
You've been Unbi the whole time.
Like always, I can tell when she is about to leave. Before she can, there's something I have to ask. I might not get another chance.
At first, you didn't want me to call you Silver. With your magic, what does a silver aura mean?
Her eyes meet in the glass. Finally, closes her eyes, closes hers with a tiny smile.
Shame.
See.
Goodbye, Miho.
Goodbye, Unbi.
Not. It takes her just a couple steps to reach the door. They slide open silently, dissolving our reflections. Inbee doesn't look back once. Rolls through, letting them shut behind her again. I'm left looking at myself, and only myself. Finally, turn around too. So I make my way back home. Because I just save this image myself. Cute. The hell. Ruby was cool. I'll miss her though. We will meet her again someday. I will never know until we get there. I mean, my friend went to stream, and I can't fucking do anything about that. Unless I mod for him, he's fucking gone. I can stream him right now. What the hell? I'm just a mod for my friend if he's just gone. If I'm streaming at the same time. Broski. I can't mod for you if I'm streaming at the same goddamn time. Bruh. I'm playing Demon Slayer or some shit. Right? I'm assuming that's what he's doing. That's what he always does. He is. Wait. Anyways. The last library guest of the day turns out to be my favorite one. Aspen enters just after closing time. The small wrapped package in her hands.
Aspen! I didn't know you were coming.
I stop what I'm doing to greet her at the door. The dog does too. She stoops down to pet him.
That's because I wanted it to be a surprise.
Doesn't
Also
surprise
because I
me.
wasn't sure I'd be able to get off work in time. But we managed.
Ooh, a surprise?
She takes the box she's holding. Its contents rattle generically.
Right. I have a present, but I'm afraid it's not for you.
Not for me.
For Juliet?
With a doggo. Aspen just smiles in response. She takes my hand, and I let her lead me towards the kitchen. The dog follows behind us. Juliet's already here.
Ah, Aspen. Good evening.
Good evening, Juliet.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. She sets the box on the table and then takes a seat with a sigh, just like she was showing up for breakfast.
This is the first time I've been able to sit down in hours.
Thank you for joining us. I'm sure you must be exhausted.
It's fine. This is important after all.
Hmm? I'm totally confused by now.
Wait, Juliet knew you were coming? I thought your present was for her.
Nope. I just said it wasn't for you. Although you'll still need to open it because it's for him.
She gestures to the puppy. He's on the ground, chewing his own foot. Aspen slides the box across the table towards me. I lift it up. It isn't very heavy. Aspen and Juliet watch me eagerly.
Here goes.
Here goes, it's a dog collar. I slice a hole in the wrapping paper and then rip it all the way in one go. Beneath it is a box with brightly colored letters. I try to sound them out slowly.
Deluxe printer ink cartridges.
Aspen, who's been leaning forward in anticipation, deflates a little.
Not quite. That was the only box I could find. Open it up too.
Whoa, you got me ink cartridges? Cool! You have a printer, Juliet? Aspen, why'd you get the dog ink cartridges? What's it gonna do with printer ink cartridges? I use one of my nails to cut the tape on the box and pop it open. Inside are a small collar and a leash. I lift them out gently.
It might be a little big for him now, but I thought he'd grow into it soon. Without having him with me, I just had to guess what the right size was.
I look at Aspen, to Juliet, to the dog, now back to Juliet.
Does this mean...
Indeed. They're gifts for the newest member of our household.
Woo!
I've searched and I can't find
Clap,
anyone
clap,
looking
clap, clap,
for a
clap.
lost dog like him. Nor has anyone reached out to me about it either. As he's already house trained, he clearly lived in a house at one point. But it seems that was a long time ago. I don't believe he'll be going back. And besides, he seems happy to be here. He's already found himself a home with you.
The dog himself gets up and comes to sniff the accessories in my hands.
While I'm sure I know the answer already, I feel I should ask all the same. Would you like to keep him?
I look down at the animal beside me. If someone had tried to put a collar on me, if someone had tried to keep me, I would have done everything in my power to avoid it. Kicked, bitten, ran, whatever. There's no way I'd have allowed someone to control me like that. But he's not me. Already, the dog is looking healthier than when I first found him. He's filled up a bit. His ribs don't poke out as much. He's been better behaved than I would have been too. Like, even said he must have lived in a house before. I've seen that he doesn't always know how to take care of himself either. If I hadn't taken him from the park that day, it would have been a matter of time before he got hurt. Like when he almost got hit by a car. I grew up in the wild, always looking after myself. But he needs a little help. When I look back up at my friends, their faces are slightly concerned. They probably expected me to answer yes right away.
I want to keep him. But what if he doesn't want to stay? He's been comfy here so far, but what if that changes?
Why not ask him?
Huh?
He doesn't know any words like Percy and Byron. I just talk to him anyway.
Percy and Byron don't know words.
Those two are very well spoken, I'll have you know. But that's not what I meant. Don't you remember back on
Her face goes a little red.
that day I asked you out? You were telling me how animals don't have to communicate with words.
Oh yeah,
Could you maybe ask him as a fox?
good point. I
hadn't
forgot about
thought of
that.
that.
I haven't transformed in a while. I haven't had any reason to. Aspen's right though. Maybe there are things I can say that way. Setting the leeching collar on the table, I take a couple steps away from the dog and change forms. More than ever before, I can feel the magic coursing out of my bead and into my body like blood. Sensations of my limbs shortening, my face changing and fur growing out, stand out more than usual. They aren't uncomfortable, but I'm used to barely noticing at all. When my transformation is complete, the dog begins to growl. His neck was raised and tails stiff, and he backs away slowly. He's clearly afraid, but the nuances of what he's trying to say are hard for me to pick up because I'm so out of practice. It's like when I'm trying to speak Korean after a long time. Danger, fear, missing where? I get the impression that he wants to know what happened to me, the me that he knows that disappeared suddenly. He's probably never seen a fox before, but he instinctively identifies me as a threat. Above us, Juliet and Aspen watch anxiously. My tail is brushed from side to side, and I keep my ears and body language friendly. I try to impress upon him that I'm not dangerous, and that the creature he's looking at is his person. Danger, doubt, danger, fear, doubt. Instead of growling or barking or any of the other sounds I'd make to talk to other foxes, it's more like I have to will my thoughts across to him. I try to convey that he can trust me, that he knows me still. The growling softens, but he keeps his distance. Her raised as he sniffs the air. Doubt, trust, doubt, danger? Just a couple of inches away, I stopped and laid down on the ground, showing that I trust him in return. I know that he won't be a threat to me. Doubt, trust. Finally, he approaches me, and his nose goes still. We look into each other's eyes, and then gives me a gentle kiss on the snout. Trust. I nuzzle against him, showing him that his faith was well placed. And I do, as do I. I try to convey other feelings to him in the same way as him. Home. I tell him stay. Yeah. Home. I tell him stay. I ask. Home. Stay safe. Home. Stay safe. Imagine him settling down here like I have until everything's familiar. Going to sleep well fed and safe and waking up rested. Maybe he had this before. If so, I don't know how anyone would have just abandoned him and left him to fend for himself. I don't know how they'd be so cruel. If there's one thing I can promise, it's that I'd never let that happen. Even if I couldn't take care of him myself anymore, I wouldn't just abandon him. I wouldn't just leave him alone. His tail cracks against the wall as he wags it. Now that he's figured out who I am, it doesn't seem like he has to think about it too much. Home. 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 I transfer him back to my other form. This time, he doesn't seem bothered at all. Picking up the leash and collar, I finally smile at Aspen and Juliet.
He's gonna stay.
That's nice. Aspen asks me to put the collar onto the dog, and then we head out the backyard with him.
I'm glad it fits all right. He doesn't seem to mind too much either.
Yeah, that was pretty easy. Maybe he's used to it.
Or maybe he knew you were doing something good for him.
Aspen and I sit down on the steps while the dog runs around. He finds a ball that he left out here earlier and brings it over to me. Throw. I toss it, but not too far. Hurries off to get it.
Have you thought about what you're going to name him?
No, not really. I guess he needs one though, huh?
It's better than just calling him the dog all the time.
I mean, it'd be funny.
Right. Well, if I was gonna be consistent, then I should probably call him Og or Uppy.
Aspen laughs.
Perfect. I know who to ask if I'm ever struggling to name a character someday.
Surely you should ask me, Miho. All the names.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Before she left today, Silver told me she'd picked a name for herself too. She chose Umbi. It means silver rain in Korean.
That's gorgeous. I like that she kept Silver as part of it. I suppose that means you helped name her too.
Yes.
You're right. I wonder if she thought about it that way. I'll bet she'd change it on the spot if I ever asked her. I wish you could have talked to her more. I wish I could have too.
I'd have liked to know her better as well.
For her story?
That's part of it. But it's not the only reason. From what you've told me about her, she seems like a good person deep down, who hasn't had the opportunity to express that much. She seems like someone who could have come to be an important part of our lives. Not to say that she isn't already important to you.
Like him.
Not too far away, the dog rolls around in the grass, kicking his feet in the air. My dog.
Yes, exactly. You said it yourself about Unbi. The two of you are like family. And now this fellow is part of the family too.
I pat my legs, and the dog instantly sits up and walks over to us, greeting each of us with a lick on the hand. I think about what Juliet said a few minutes ago. She was telling me I should stay. Suddenly it comes to me.
Happy.
Hmm?
His name is Happy.
Happy looks up to me. tongue lolling out of his face. Smile. Aspen giggles.
Do you like that name?
I ask him the question, knowing that I won't get an answer. Still, it just feels polite to ask. Even though I choose to do it as a human, not a fox.
I'm sure he does. A saying that I appreciate is that names are a gift that someone gives you, and if it doesn't fit, you can exchange it for one that does. In this case, I think it suits him perfectly.
Watching the dog close his eyes in comfort keeps getting attention. I'm glad that Aspen agrees.
Now that you mention it, I've done a lot of name exchanging too.
Oh.
You only started going by Miho here in Welly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm surprised you remember that.
Taps her forehead.
I'm good at remembering important things, and Miho things are important.
I lean against her, resting my head on Aspen's shoulder.
I think I like being Miho. All the good things in my life started happening after I picked that name.
I like you being Miho too.
Two of us sit for a while, playing with Happy, until he gets too tired to keep chasing the ball. Taking that as a sign we should call it a night. All three of us head back inside, together.
And here you are.
Here we are. With a flourish, Aspen slides two plates onto the table between Juliet and me. The fresh cut fruit. Why are we outside? I guess we're at the Bell House. We're on the porch. Fresh cut fruit, some warm potatoes, and a sandwich with bacon and cheese. I hardly ever have meat anymore. So it's a rare treat.
Whoa! This looks really good! I'm glad I haven't lost my touch. I don't do this kind of table service very often, you know.
That's good to hear, yes, for us.
I know! We must be your favorite customers or something.
I wonder why.
Maybe, but don't tell the rest of them.
I sure won't. Today is Aspen's last day at this Bell House. She invited Juliet and I to breakfast for a change of pace. Happy came along too, of course, and his leash is tied tightly to a chair. Juliet shifts her parasol just a little bit to match the rising sun. She sips her tea and smiles warmly.
There's a reason this is our favorite cafe to visit.
Soon to be second favorite, I hope.
Aspen leans against the railing, looking up at the sky. The sun really highlights the bags underneath her eyes, and all the small things that probably only I notice. It's how her apron is tied more sloppily than usual, or how her hair is done up roughly. Still, even this close to the finish line, she looks a lot better than she did when she was working on her book. Happier and more content, instead of looking like she's going to fall over at any moment. There's no one who deserves it more. She catches me looking at her and pretends to glare.
Your sandwich is getting cold, Miho. I worked hard on that, you know.
Sorry.
I lift it up and take a big bite. Just like the strawberry croissants, it's messy but delicious. Don't they make anything to eat here that doesn't need to come with a stack of napkins? I still managed to finish it in a hurry.
That was so good! I didn't even know you had them on the menu. Or I'd have ordered one before.
They're not on the menu.
It's not on the menu. It's just something I put together myself. I had to mark out a lot of different items to make it. But if you think so highly of it, then maybe I'll think about adding it to my store.
Ooh, that'll be fun.
You should.
Be fun.
I'll eat one every day.
Every day. Miho, that's a lot. You should not have the same thing over and over again the same day. Come on.
Every day is an awfully long time.
You're gonna be freaking eating up that whole stock of bacon and whatnot.
It was that good.
I stayed a little bit for Happy, who's currently protecting us from anyone who passes by. He doesn't bark or growl, but he keeps pace with them, walking as far as the leash will let him, or going back to the start. He never tries to go too far, though.
Happy!
He tilts his head and then comes running as I hold out the treat on the palm of my hand. Being as careful not to bite me can, he pulls it away with his tongue and munches it. Well, happily.
Perhaps you should consider a dog-sized version on the menu too.
That would be the most adorable thing my team ever hated me for. I should make sure to keep some dog biscuits, though. I'll have to write that down.
That'd be the best thing. So cute. Auntie would hate me for it. From one of the pockets in her apron, Aspen retrieves something that I haven't seen in a while. A small notebook and a pen. She starts to write something down, and then freezes.
Oh, Juliet, I just remembered.
Setting the note on the table, Aspen hurries into the cafe. Juliet and I both watch her go. Even Juliet seems a little surprised. About 10 seconds later, the door flies open again and Aspen is back, carrying a different piece of paper.
Regina approved my idea to put a reading corner in the new store.
Woo!
I was wondering if you would let me borrow a few books to stock it. Maybe it could even be an extension of the library.
Yes. What the heck is happening? Oh. I was using the wrong mic this whole time. I think that's why it was weird. What the hell? Okay. Anyways, back to the game. I love the little issues with the PNG tuber. It's great. He holds out the paper, showing us a sketch of what it'll look like. Several wooden shelves line one wall, and on the other side is a tall bookcase that separates the reading spot from the corner in the kitchen. From the counter in the kitchen, I can't read.
It hasn't been set up yet, but they'll be installing it tomorrow. So on opening day, all that will be left to do is fill the shelves.
The class with delight.
I love that idea. It would be my pleasure to share our collections.
That's in beams, and I can't help but smile too. Both of them. Know that in a sense, it's another dream come true for Aspen.
Why don't you come by tomorrow and pick out a few, and we can bring them to you at the opening?
That sounds great. I already have a list somewhere. I started daydreaming a little bit when I first came up with the idea.
Of course you did. I sit back and listen to the two of them chat about books for a while. It's nostalgic. All the names and titles go over my head, as unknown to me as they were months ago. And though, I don't mind. I don't feel left out. I wait for that conversation to reach a lull before I clear my throat. Something that I want to talk about too. Something I've only become more sure of since yesterday.
Hey, speaking of new jobs and stuff,
Hey, am I going to? Maybe.
I've been thinking about maybe trying something new instead of working at the library. If Juliet doesn't mind.
Of course not. Please, follow your heart, and I'll always support you. Is there something in particular you want to try?
Yeah. It's something I just thought of a couple days ago, but that felt right as soon as I did.
I wonder. On the ground beside me, Happy hasn't left since I gave him that bite of sandwich, even though he hasn't gotten anything else since then.
It was something this guy made me realize I want to do too. I want to try to help out at the nature preserve.
Oh, that sounds fun actually.
Yesterday, Aspen said that Happy kind of reminded her of Unbi. That's Silver's new name, by the way. It's the first one she picked for herself. Anyway, not just them, but also that burn. The one I found in the woods that we weren't able to save. I think about it a lot. I want to try helping others like that. Other birds and dogs and whatever they have there. Like how someone helped me before too. Lots of someone's, I mean.
Oh, Miho, that's wonderful. How perfect for you. I'd be glad to give you a recommendation to Amaya. I believe they're always looking for volunteers. After a while, you could even apply to work there, like Amaya does.
You're awkward because they're gonna forget me every day.
But listen to me getting ahead of myself. I'm already so excited for you.
Thanks.
Aspen looks a little more concerned. Why?
I agree. That does sound like something that would be just right.
But
But what about your magic? With the library, it's not a big deal since you live with Juliet. You couldn't see all your co-workers every day, though.
Yeah. I thought about that. I think I have an idea, but I'm not too sure about it yet.
Really? What were you thinking?
I don't want to say right now. I'm still thinking about it. I'll make up my mind soon, though.
okay. I can tell Aspen wants to know more, but she forces herself to stiflingly nod all the same.
All right. You can tell us when you're ready.
Stiffly.
Thank you.
I said stiffly.
It won't be long, promise.
It's not that I don't want to tell her. It's just that I don't want to get hopes up. I'm kind of afraid to get my own hopes up too. Take a breath. Feeling my bead rise and fall with my chest. Maybe I'm just afraid in general. This. Still, I swallow that fear, taking it to the back of my mind. I still brood and ponder later. Right now, I just want to focus on what I've enjoyed, what I've got. Enjoy this meal in the moment. In Juliet's typically reliable fashion, she manages to get a call set up, me and Amaya. The same evening. At least this time, unlike with Minso, I don't have a whole day to fret about it beforehand. Instead, there's only 10 or 15 minutes between when she tells me she's going to reach out and when she comes to my room to offer me the phone. Only a voice, not video. Makes it a little less stressful. But I still have to calm my nerves a bit before I'm actually able to answer.
Hello?
Hello. Something I've been working on is how loud to talk when I'm using the phone. I always end up yelling since I can't really hear myself. I've been trying to fix that for Aspen's sake. Still, I'm self-conscious about it as I press the phone to my ears.
Hi there, Miho, right? I'm Amaya at the Preserve. Nice to meet you.
Thanks. Nice to meet you too.
If all goes well, then this should be the last time I ever have to introduce myself to someone the second time. What are you doing? What are you gonna do, Miho?
Julia tells me you're interested in helping out around here and that you have a pretty extensive history with animals. Is that right?
What are you planning?
Yeah, you could say that.
No? What are you planning?
Awesome. I'll be honest, we could really use a hand right now. Or 2 or 4 if you got 'em. As far as I'm concerned, a friend of Juliet's is a friend of mine.
Last reintroduction, no interviews for a spot in Nature Preserve. You're worried for Miho.
There's still a few questions I gotta ask you though, both as a formality and just to get to know you better.
Fair.
No pressure. These aren't the kinds of questions you have to study for. Is that okay?
Yep.
Just saying no pressure. I was saying no pressure ever actually made someone feel less pressure?
Great. First up, why do you want to help out here? Be as big or as specific as you want.
Because I want to help animals. I don't know if Juliet told you, but I used to be a fox.
No kidding. Bushy tail and everything?
Yeah.
9 of them.
Yeah, it's pretty Bob. Look at me go.
Incredible. You'll fit right in.
Oh no,
Anyway,
fox.
sorry, go
My
on.
fox tail. What time?
Right. Back when I was a fox,
Oh.
someone saved me. And that's how I ended up turning into a person. Then once I got here to Welly, Julia helped me out a lot too. I like people a lot more than I used to now, but I still know animals pretty well.
I love that. Okay, next question. What kind of work is it that you want to do? A lot of people, they sign up to help out here thinking it's going to be all clean and tidy like a hospital. It isn't. Animals are messy and dangerous, and you can't get mad at them when they screw up. Believe me, it's useless. It's a lot of dirty work. It's a lot of being careful and still sometimes getting hurt. What I'm saying is, it's not easy. Is that something you're okay with?
Yes. Sure.
Yeah, I am. When I said how I got helped out, back when I was a fox, I got my leg caught in a hunter's trap. I couldn't move, and it hurt more than anything I've ever felt. But there was this person who found me, who had already been nice to me before. Still, if I hadn't been about to die, I probably would have tried to get away from them anyway. They took care of me and helped my leg get better. They fed me and came to visit me every day, until the day they left my forest. So, I know what it's like to be that way, scared and hurt, and not sure who you can trust.
God damn. I'm so sorry. Us humans can be terrible, can't we?
Sorry though. There's a good ones though.
Sometimes, but that's only some humans, not all of them. That's something it took me a long time to learn. There are good humans though, like you and my girlfriend Aspen.
Oh, you're dating Aspen? I've heard Juliet talk about her for years.
Yeah, we're dating.
It makes my heart feel warm to say that. Hi Decker, welcome back.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, you've already got the job, but here we go. Last question, alright?
You done harassing Kaizen? Decker, or are you still there harassing Kaizen and talking to Rose? Separately.
Yeah.
I'm everywhere, Decker. I see everything. I know where you are. I see you on the toilet right now. Better fucking wash your hands, motherfucker. It is actually been a lot easier than I expected. I didn't even have to try hard to think of the answers like I normally do. But I feel confident in what I'm saying, knowing that I don't know if I ever have before.
Okay, here it is. Miho, do you believe in fate?
What?
I asked you that last time.
You remember that?
So that was you. That was gonna be my secret final question. I remembered having that conversation with someone, but for the life of me, I couldn't think of who.
Oh, you're shiny farming. Okay, that's cool. Found any shinies yet?
I thought someone must have tampered with my mind with magic or something. And to tell you the truth, I still can't picture what you look like.
That's my magic for you.
Oh, you're exactly right, actually. I have this, I guess you could call it power. Where everyone I meet forgets about me in a day if I don't see them again. That's what happened to you.
Yep. Just quiet for a moment. I'll be thinking about what to say. That sounds... I make up my mind.
But I think I've figured out a way to get rid of it. I'm going to try it tomorrow. So hopefully it won't be a problem. If you can remember me after this time tomorrow, then that'll mean that worked.
Since there's silence, did I call disconnect? Finally, she clears her throat.
All right then, Miho.
What? Not shiny yet? Okay. Wish you luck on your Gloomit hunt. Voice sounds rough, like you suddenly caught a cold. My hair stands on end. Wait. Crying?
I hope I'll give you a call tomorrow then. But first, you have to answer my other question. It's not the usual third question we ask, but I figure I don't need to ask about a time you met an animal in need.
Oh, right.
Once again, this question is easy to answer, but it's for a different reason.
I don't know. But I don't think I care. Because either way, I'm still living my life. If there's magic or something else, then that's not really up to me, right?
Oh, butthole.
So, I like what you said last time. Either way, I just want to be...
Fulfilled?
Yeah, like Aspen and Juliet.
Well, if there's one thing we can offer you here, it's that.
Why are you crying at me? Yeah.
Also a small salary. It's not gonna make you a millionaire or anything, but it should more than cover the bus fare or beer money,
Beer money.
whichever you need more.
Imagine beer money.
Really? I thought it was all volunteer stuff.
We usually start them off that way. Helps figure out which ones are serious about it and which ones are just looking for a summer job because mom said so.
Fair.
But I get the feeling you're gonna be a long hauler. What about you?
I have to pause and think about it. Working at the library is the longest I've ever stuck with something that's only been a few months. What Amaya is talking about is a lot longer than I thought. After spending most of my life not thinking beyond the next 24 hours and spending my time here, taking my daily life for granted, I haven't to think long term too much. Other than to make sure Aspen, Happy, and Juliet are part of it, the future hasn't been that important to me. I need to start changing that, though. Especially after tomorrow. Today there's a chance to start the new year off with something else that's different for me. My New Year's resolution, Aspen called it.
Yeah, I'd like to be.
Super awesome, great. I haven't been this excited about a new hire in a long time.
Thanks.
I love we're not on a video call, so you can't make me blush.
I'll have to file some paperwork to make it official, and get the okay for the expenses, all that boring stuff. I'll try to get back to you tomorrow, end of the week at the latest. Sound good?
That is, you can remember.
Yep.
Good. You better get that magic thing taken care of, Miho. I'm gonna write myself a note to be sad if I forget about you.
You got it.
That's touching.
Good. Talk to you soon then.
Yeah.
See you later.
All ends and I immediately sigh once again. Of course, I can't blame her, but she makes getting rid of my magic sound so casual. In reality, that would be the biggest change in my entire life. Maybe even more than me being a Gumiho in the first place. It's the change that I need at this point in my life, though. As both Aspen and Juliet love to remind me, it was my path through life that made me who I am today. However, that person isn't the same as before. The things that matter to me now meant nothing back then. It seems logical to me that my need to transform, steal, and be forgotten has changed too. I'm grateful for everything that my magic and my beat have done for me, but they're the final step from that path I need to move past. Plus, if Moonbee is right, then they're not separate things that I'll lose. They're just parts of me that change too. That feels a lot more comforting, I think. Still, happy left with Juliet when she brought the phone. For a moment to myself. I removed my necklace, hold it to in my hands. Something I did quite a lot these days. Not yet. We don't know. We don't know what she's gonna plan or what will happen. Truly, what will happen? Even more cracks appeared on the bead. It's broken in as many places as it is whole. Light leaks out, shining on my palm. The bead looks like it could fall apart at any time. Fragile. Human. Something would happen if I broke it. I'm sure of that. Something will happen when I break it. Tomorrow. I've already given myself that deadline. Telling Amaya. It's short, but it's this time to dread it. Change my mind. Enough time to tell Aspen and Juliet, though. I want them to be there when I do it, too. I don't know what will happen. I were to let myself think of all the possibilities. I'm sure I would end up myself out of it. Dad appears to believe what Junbi said. What makes the most sense to me. That it would never make me I don't want to be. I'll choose my own destiny instead. My own fate. Whatever it may be. I'm not gonna read that. I'm not reading that. Okay, I'm gonna quickly go save. I'm gonna grab more water and take a quick bite. We're gonna take a quick little break. We'll be back in a minute or two. Okay, we're back. I got some more water. Time to eat. Time. After weeks of rehearsal, it's time for Mina and Cyrus's big What? Huh? What the? Oh, the play. I forgot the play. I forgot the play with the thing. I forgot about the fucking the swan play that I'm a part of as a tree. I'm a tree. I forgot that was happening. The play, of course. After months of practicing, the day of the play finally arrives. Performance starts in the evening, but I have to be there a couple of hours early. Aspen promised that she'll be in the audience too. Support both me and Lena. Juliet will be taking care of Happy, so she won't be able to make it. Even though I explained again and again And I'll just be standing there when I'm on stage. They're just as excited as they were when I first announced I'd be participating. I'm glad they'll be there though. The last hour or so before showtime is a busy one, with lots of the cast running around doing last-minute preparations or run-throughs. I just try to stay out of the way and help out if asked. We made the change from practicing in the park to practicing on a real stage pretty early, and by now the whole production is pretty smooth. I made the mistake of peeking out from the curtain before it begins and see that almost all of the chairs in the audience are filled. I even managed to spot my people, although they don't notice me. I head to a corner backstage, doing my best to stay out of everyone's way. Cyrus has been walking around, checking in with each cast and crew member in turn. Still hasn't gotten to me when Lena hurries over.
Miho, ready to go? Nervous?
So far, so good. What about you? Shouldn't you be in your costume?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get changed soon. I was just, talking with my parents.
Uh-huh.
Are they here in the audience?
Yep, front row. I think they were more excited for me to be in this play than I was.
I know exactly what you mean. I'm glad I did it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. They said they're glad I found something I like. Although I know they still wish it was ballet. I guess me being up on stage is still good enough for them.
You're okay with that?
Yeah,
Whatever.
I think I am. I mean, it was my decision. I probably won't be in any other plays anytime soon, though.
We'll see. Time will tell.
That's too bad. You're really good at it.
I know, but I want to keep trying new things. Maybe someday I'll go back to ballet or something, but only if I decide that I want to, not someone else.
Yeah. More power to you. Cyrus wraps up a conversation with the nearby cast member, then joins us in our corner.
Hey, you two. All set for your big debut, Miho?
At the tree.
I think I've got all my lines down.
Yeah, all my lines are down.
Good. How about you?
All my lines. All 0 of my lines. Lol.
Ready, boss!
Cool. Thanks for making this possible, both of you.
Problem.
No, it's no big deal. Right, Miho?
Right.
For me, it's pretty true, but for Lena...
We should probably go get changed, but first,
Touching his neck, Cyrus looks away for a moment.
Hey, Lena. Are you, busy after this?
After the play? No, why?
Do you wanna get dinner or something?
Lena blinks a few times in rapid succession.
Yes! Let's do that! Okay, I'm gonna go get ready now!
Happy for you. Face red, Lena runs off, both Cyrus and I staring after her.
The dressing room's the other way.
More later, Lena zooms past us going in the opposite direction.
Oops, it's this way.
She disappears into another room.
That wasn't weird, was it?
No.
From me, I mean.
No.
Nah, I think Weird is like her normal anyway. I think she's pretty glad you asked her.
I kind of had a feeling after she gave me that painting a while ago. Part of the reason I wanted her to be in this play was so we could hang out more. But it's been kind of tough.
Don't worry.
Also,
I think it'll all work out fine.
me too. Cyrus nods.
Well, I'm gonna go get dressed too. See you on stage.
I'll be a tree.
See you.
The best tree in the world. Cyrus leaves and I spend my last couple minutes alone. Taking a while to get here, but it seems like everything's turned out alright. Lena's all over the place and hard to follow sometimes, and Cyrus is like her opposite. They're both nice people though. Hope that they get hoping getting dinner later is just the start of something between them. I think they'd be good for each other. Eventually, it's time for me to go get ready as well. And everything, I pull on my stiff trio costume and take my place backstage. On the other side of the curtain, I hear the low rumbles of the crowd talking. Lights dim, chatter goes off, and the chatter does too. Looking around, I see Lena all dressed up and ready to go on stage. She gives me a big thumbs up in front. Cyrus faces everyone with a small smile.
Showtime.
Go time. We all get into position and the curtains rise. The music begins. And Lena soon takes her place on the center stage. Watching her perform is like watching a whole other person. There's a certain grace to her movements, the way she talks. I admire her ability to just go all out and perform well when she has to. Each one I know she must be all worked up emotionally. Cyrus is the same way when he's acting. He has to talk louder to project his voice, but he doesn't seem uncomfortable doing it. The way he walks and talks is elegant, like Lena. The audience laughs and gasps in all the right places, and I even hear a few sniffles during some of the sad parts. When it's finally time for me to go up, I'm surprised by just how many faces there are in the crowd. I can't let myself get distracted though. I need to do my best too, as a tree. My part's pretty easy, and I pull it off without a hitch. I have to leave the stage for the last time. Mina mouths, "Nice job," to me. I smile in return. Well, 2 hours seems to fly by. When the last scene ends, I can hardly believe that it's over. One by one, I'll go back. Right, all one by one, we all go back out to take a bow. It's lost in the audience like thunder rolling through theater. I'm wearing a mask. What? The last one is the return of the main 3 characters. Oh, that's on me. Okay, that's why. I was like, why am I wearing a mask? Okay, this is a different person. The last one's return of the main 3 characters, including Lena and Cyrus, to take their place. The applause somehow gets louder. Everyone rising out of their seats to clap. Standing ovation. Confetti falls from the rafters as they look around, basking in celebration. Lena's smile is huge, while Cyrus seems a little stunned by the reaction. The 3 of them link hands, take a bow, and then the rest of us join them one last time for a final bow, all together. Throughout it, Lena and Cyrus never let go of each other. When everything is over, everyone goes backstage to clean up and congratulate each other. I say goodbye to pretty much everyone except those 2. I look over to try to find them, but can't. Finally, the sound of a door opening catches my ear. I peek around the corner of a hallway to see Lena and Cyrus standing at the door at the outside. I just step out together. I think they earn the right to leave early. Keep out on the cleaning. As the door shuts behind them, I smile to myself. I think they're gonna be just fine. They think a tree. Put in a perfect performance with Lena. Even though Aspen shows up for breakfast, I'm too preoccupied to do much but eat and respond on autopilot. After a predictably sleepless night, I barely stay focused enough to chew. I'm so out of it that Aspen has to wave her hand in my face. Attention.
Miho!
Yeah?
I was going to ask if you're okay, but I think I need to ask what's wrong instead.
Nothing.
What do you
fine.
mean?
You've been chewing on an empty fork for a little bit now.
Have I now? I look at the utensil in my hand.
Oops.
Sure enough, it's empty. Aspen gently sets my brutalized. Aspen gently sets my brutalized fork onto the table. My plate is so full. I'm not sure if I actually had any food or not.
Is this about your secret idea from yesterday?
Yeah. I nod.
You're good.
I like to think I know you pretty well. Is it something you can talk to us about yet?
Juliet also leans in to show she's listening, although she doesn't object. I can feel my pulse rise in response to the sudden attention. Even Happy is watching me. The whole reason I decided so quickly. Get it over with.
I'm going to smash my bean.
Both Aspen and Juliet look at me in stunned silence. I'm not surprised.
I don't know for sure, but if I do that, I think my magic will go away. The problem is, I don't know what else will happen to me. But I think I'll be okay. Unbi thinks so too.
While Juliet continues to look shocked, Aspen's face flips through emotions, like computing channels on the TV.
Smash it? Are you sure? That's awfully permanent. And what do you mean, what else? What do you mean, you think? Have you thought?
Aspen.
All Aspen has to do is look at Juliet, and she cuts herself off.
I'm sorry. I'm sure you've thought about it. But that's so sudden. I'm sure you can see why I'm so shocked.
I do. Don't
It's
worry.
been on my mind for a while, and it's all I could think about last night. It's what I want to do, though. I told Amaya I would, for one thing. And I'd feel a lot better if I didn't have to worry about either of you forgetting about me.
Me too. God, me too.
Your magic is more than just being forgotten, though. That, plus your ability to transform, plus, I would imagine, your immortality.
Aspen gasps.
Miho!
I know. I thought about that too, and I'm okay with that. I want to feel more. I want things to mean more to me. I don't think that can happen unless I know I'm going to lose them someday. That's something both of you helped me realize.
I meet Juliet's gaze.
You too, and Cosette.
Her eyes go wide, down into motherly contentment. Closing her eyes, she nods in acknowledgement. What I said. Aspen grabs her hands, one in each of hers, holding them to her heart, facing me.
Miho, I don't know what to say. There's so much that I don't know if I could get through it all. So, I'll just trust you. I'll trust that you know what's right for you, and I'll support you in that. Always.
Aspen has barely finished talking when there's a sudden flash of light from my necklace. I think both Aspen and Juliet have recoiled in shock. Maybe yelps in surprise too.
What the?
I quickly cup my hands around my bead, which contains a lot of the light, but not all of it. Aspen still has to use one arm to shield her eyes. Somehow, despite the brightness, I'm able to see through it unbothered. The bead seems to be shaking, and I don't think it's because of my hands. It's still whole, but just barely. It had its fill of whatever it was looking for. I feel it. Needy. Magic within it wants to burst free and escape. All three of us exchange a look, knowing that it's pointless to say anything else about the issue. Whether it's instinct or just my inner strength, I grit my teeth and stand up.
It's time.
Ready or not, Mia's beat has reached its breaking point. And feared. What, I walk to the front door, hoping that I'm not shaking as badly as I think. I think I am. Aspen, Juliet, and Happy are right behind me, but I don't look back until I'm out of the door, standing in sunlight. Aspen comes to my side, gripping my arm, as she leans in for a kiss. Closing my eyes and focusing on the feeling of her against my side, I feel the storm in my belly calm down a little bit. Little claws sting into me as Happy stands up on his hind legs, pressing his paws into me as well. Juliet remains on Juliet remains in the doorway, just out of reach of the sunlight. But I know she's watching anxiously too. My hands are trembling as I reach for my necklace. Aspen places her hand on mine, steadying as I undo the clasp. For the first time since I slipped it on, I carefully remove my bead. Set the rest aside. It's strangely heavy in my palm. Maybe I shouldn't call it strange. It's carrying a lot of memories in it. Still, it's small enough that when I curl my fingers, it's hidden entirely. Closing my eyes, take a deep breath, and then another. Preparing myself for what I'm about to do.
Wait!
My eyes shoot back open.
Before you do, there's something I have to ask. I'd regret it forever if I don't.
What is it? You can ask me anything.
Looks conflicted. I have no idea what her question could be. Finally, she copies me, closing her eyes and taking a deep breath before snapping her gaze to mine.
Can I touch your ears?
Huh?
I've just... For as long as I've known you, I've wanted to ask. But it seems so rude, so I kept putting it off.
Aspen!
I can't put it off anymore, though.
Aspen! I took a second to process what she said, and then I burst out laughing. Of everything she could have asked, that definitely wouldn't have been on one of my guesses. I look so guilty about asking that it makes me laugh even harder, until I'm doubled over and able to stand up straight. Tears start to stream from my eyes, taking a lot of my attention with them. I only nod in response and able to actually answer Aspen's question with words. After a couple of seconds, she can't keep from laughing either, even as she approaches me. I force myself upright, at least a bit more, and tilt my head to her. Her fingers hesitantly settle on my ears and scratch a few times the same way she pets Happy. And see, she likes it so much. I see why he likes it so much. Aspen doesn't spend too long before moving away from me. She looks a lot more relieved too.
Okay, I've gotten that out of my system. Why don't you... Miho!
She points to my hand. I look down. Without meaning to, I clench my fist at some point. I clench my fist at some point. The light shines between the gaps, turning into vapor and turning towards the sky. I unclench my fingers, revealing a small pile of glowing dust and shards of my bead. Shards aren't sharp. In fact, they aren't anything. I can't even feel them. Putting my hand over, I dump the debris onto the ground. A lot of the dust disappears as it falls. So do some of the pieces. A couple of them hit the ground before vanishing. Only one piece, the largest one, lasts for any time at all. Instead of evaporating instantly, it slowly dissolves, with most of the powder being carried away by the wind. Soon all that's left is a tiny seed a tiny seed that it looks like it comes from some unknown plant. Was this part of my beat too? I'll never know the answer. Because the wind picks up and takes that with it too. Although it doesn't disappear into nothingness, it's gone from sight in an instant. If it was, maybe it's on its way to someone else who needs it. It's like going in, or travel the world again, never quite coming to rest. I think they'd have loved to be part of the wind, laughing along with the breeze. I'm sure they'll know where to take it. The instant that the last trace of the magic disappears, I can feel my body start to change. It's similar to changing into a fox, but still different. My ears shrink down, my tail retracts, but the rest of me stays the same. My hair brushes against my shoulders as new, different ears take the place of my fox ones. It feels like stretching. It feels like stretching after being cramped up for a long time. Oh, like always, the transformation is quick, only a few seconds from start to finish. Except it's not always anymore. There's no next time. Turn around to face Aspen and Juliet again as a tearful Aspen rushes into me, wrapping me in the tightest hug I've ever felt. Somehow, her lips managed to find mine, and my first experience as a human couldn't be any better. Happy doesn't wait long, before demanding to be noticed too. So I stepped away from Aspen in order to kneel down and pet him. He seems to handle this change a lot better than me turning into a fox, since he doesn't growl or act any different at all. I wonder if he ever notices the change. Finally, there's Juliet, who has tears of her own in her eyes. As I climb the stairs, she steps forward, pulls me into an embrace of her own.
Congratulations, Miho.
Thank you for everything.
It feels so weird looking at Miho without the ears. Yeah, lets go of me and then steps forward, further back into the house and away from the sunlight. The rest of us go inside too. I feel strangely normal. Other than being a bit dizzy, I feel extremely exactly the same as I did 5 minutes ago. Even the dizziness will probably go away once I get used to not having a tail. I'm not sure what I was expecting being human to feel like, but I thought it would at least feel like something. I don't mind being wrong about this one. I know that I'm right about the human part, though. That same intuition that's guided me my whole life tells me that. That's reassuring as well. I'm still me, though, through and through. I go back to the kitchen, which also seems absurdly normal. I feel like I should at least do something to celebrate or commemorate the occasion. But really, just being able to go on my own everyday life feels a reward itself. Like Lena leaving the Bell House. Maybe it'll hit me harder later on, after the novelty has worn off. But right now, I'm just excited to keep living. After Juliet goes to bed, Aspen and I leash up Happy and take him for a walk around town. I notice a few differences, like not being able to smell or hear quite as well as I could before. I don't mind, though. The trade-off is more than worth it. My first day as a human. Very different from my last few days as a Miho. And that's just fine with me. Aspen stays as late as she can, and when she finally leaves to return to her own apartment, she does it with a promise to meet up again tomorrow. That night, lying awake next to the Happy, I look out my bedroom window, the city I've come to know as well. Know so well. I started to take the view for granted. I'm going to have to unlearn all that. I really want to be grateful for what I have, since someday it'll all be gone. For what will be the last time for a while, Aspen shows up at the library for breakfast. It's been our routine ever since I came to Wellington, and it's bittersweet that it'll come to an end. An ending is just a chance for a new beginning, though.
So, tomorrow's the big day.
That's right. I don't know how I'm going to sleep tonight. I don't know if I'll have time to sleep tonight.
At least you'll have plenty of coffee to drink in the morning.
That's true, as long as no one drops the coffee maker or something. Oh, here I go again. I keep imagining 100 things that could go wrong.
I'm sure there are a million things that will go right.
Yeah, it'll be great.
It will be great.
Thanks. I'm sure you're both right. I just can't help being me.
Fine, though. Love you for that. Love you for you, Aspen.
That's why I know it'll go well.
Happy and I hang out in the kitchen, while Aspen and Juliet browse around to find books for Aspen's reading corner. Once she has a few picked out, Juliet heads to bed, and Aspen rejoins the dog and me. She picks up her purse, where she left it on the counter earlier, and sits down.
So, after your bead broke yesterday, it gave me an idea for a secret ritual of my own.
She takes the bag, and I can hear paper crinkle inside.
Oh, like magic?
Sure.
No magic, just superstition, I guess you could call it. Or symbolism, something along those lines.
Let's do it.
You don't even know what it is yet.
So? It's something you want to do, and that's enough for me.
I hope you're up for a bit of a walk then, because I'd like to go up Mount Victoria.
I'll go get Happy's leash.
On the way to the top of the mountain, talk about everything except why we're here. At the summit, stop, and Aspen looks around.
I see why you come up here so often. I'm glad the new store is closer. I could do with a few more chances to clear my head.
Quite a nice view.
I'm glad you like it up here too. I know it's not a secret or anything, but it feels like my place.
I know what you mean. That used to be the library for me.
Used to?
It's special in a different way now. A wonderful way, to be sure. But not the same as when I was just a regular patron browsing the shelves. But up here, I feel calm in the same way when I sit down with a good book. Not just a good one, but a favorite. One that I know I can go back to again and again and enjoy just as much as the first time I read it.
Did you do what I think, maybe? He things her purse from her shoulder and reaches in. He gets his hopes up, probably thinking thinking that's just where the sandwiches grow. But he'll have to be disappointed this time. Instead, Aspen takes out a small stack of paper. At first, I'm afraid it's the Fox in the Grove, which is silly, because I keep that safe in my room with my scroll. Closer inspection, I recognize the fancy logo on the top.
That's from the book company, right? The one you almost signed with?
Yes. This was the contract they offered me.
I haven't idea what to do. Good for you, Aspen.
I held on to it to think about, and then afterwards held on to it as a reminder. I think I need to move on from it too, now. Just like you were saying about your bead.
Shall we?
For a long time, I thought of my self-worth purely in terms of what I could make or give to the world. In other words, how good my writing was. That sure turned out to be a mistake. I always knew it was, of course. Still, once you're that far into the hole, it can be tough to dig yourself back out. I have you to thank in part for that. For helping me find my own strength that I needed. That's why I don't need this anymore. Not as a reminder or a motivator. I don't need it to tell me what I'm worth.
From the top to bottom, Aspen rips the paper in half. She tucks them into a pile and rips them again. Then rips those. She holds out her hand full of shredded paper, like I held out my shattered bead. Just like then, Quinn eagerly picks up the pieces, carries them away, out to sea. They toss and flutter in the wind, scattering directions before they're even past the edge of the mountain. Aspen watched them go, hand full, and still outstretched. Not to bring them back, but to keep them away. Just seconds, they're gone from sight.
I tore up the rejection letters too. The ones I'd been keeping in my box. Envelopes and all.
Yeah, just real quick. Aspen.
I saved a copy of my manuscript instead.
Good.
That's what I really want to look back on someday and smile about. Not to forget the bad, but to remember the good too. I'll always associate it with these days here with you, and with the new store, and everything else. I think those will be much happier memories to keep, don't you?
Yeah,
I
Lisa.
do. I never want to forget how I feel right now either. Or any of my time here.
I don't think we will. I'm not sure how we could. And even though the future is scary at times, it scares me right now when I think of opening the store tomorrow. I'm excited. I'm excited to face it with you and with Juliet. And with Happy, of course.
Of course.
Of course. Three of us stand quietly together, facing the horizon and the future. Aspen's right. It's intimidating. But that's exciting in its own way. There's one lesson that I've learned. One most important thing. It's that I can't just wait for the future to come to me. I have to reach out and grab it for myself. Arriving at the new Bell House, it's immediately obvious that Aspen doesn't need to worry about no one showing up. Julie and I are there an hour early, but why are we the first to arrive? There's already a small line of people waiting when we get there. Box of Aspen's requested books is in tow. Some of the staff are running around outside looking stressed. Others are indoors setting up the display cases and bringing coffee. They also look pretty stressed. I recognized one or two of the employees from the other Bell House, but I don't know their names. Most of them I've never seen before. It's just the aprons that give them away. Despite the nervousness, everything seems to be running pretty smoothly. One person that I do recognize is Regina, Aspen's boss. She strolls around the place looking calmer than the other workers. She's probably done this more than once. I'm no expert, but I don't see any problems anywhere. Aspen's done a great job getting everything ready to go. She's been here since before I woke up, so I haven't seen her in person. Although we've been messaging throughout the morning when possible. I let her know that Julie and I have arrived, but the message sits unread. I spot another familiar face, though at the same time, she spots us.
Hey, Miho!
Hi, Lena. She slipped out the front door and jogs over to where Happy and I are. Juliet's retreating out under the shade of the building's roof.
normal day. Hang on a sec, though. Something's different about you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you get a haircut?
I guess technically if you think about it, but not really.
Wait, no, I see it.
Do you?
Don't tell me they gave you an haircut too!
Kind of.
Nope. They went away on their own. I broke the bead that gave me my magic, and so now I'm just a regular human.
Face goes pale.
And I thought it was bad that I dropped the coffee machine this morning!
Oh, nah.
You broke the
I
coffee
did it on
machine.
purpose. I wanted this to happen.
Okay.
Seriously? Why would you do that?
Because I got tired of people forgetting about me all the time. I want to be able to live a normal life, even if it's one that has an end. I'm starting a new job soon too. One that I couldn't do if nobody remembered me.
Oh, congrats! You're gonna kick life's butt, aren't ya?
Sure.
That's not quite the way I'd put it, but yeah, I guess so.
Well, it's the right way. The only right way. Go ahead, ask me why that is.
No, thank you.
Why?
Because you've gotta beat life into giving you what you want.
Just a fake punch that comes close to hitting me in the real face.
When it thinks it's got you down, that's when you've gotta fight back even harder. Never give up. Never surrender!
Got that from a show. It's kind of impossible to not be impressed with Lena's enthusiasm, even when it's like this.
And you can only do that when you've got something to fight for. Like Aspen, or your friends, or your dog! Wait, when did you get a dog?
About like a week ago or something like that.
This is Happy. I've had him for a few days now.
He does look happy! What's his name?
No, that is his name. Happy.
I have a feeling I'm going to have to do this a lot in the future. Still, I like the name. I guess you could say it makes me happy too. Once Lena finishes introducing herself to the dog, she finally notices the box of books on top of the wagon that we brought.
Oh, are those for Aspen? I'll take them in and let her know you're here. Although she might be busy until after she cuts the ribbon.
That's fair.
That's fine. Thanks for letting her know. I'll be with Juliet.
Got it!
I pass the wagon's handle to Lena, and she rolls it around to the back. Happy and I go wait next to Juliet, not too far from the line. Get in. Not allowed to get in. She adjusts the parasol to give us a bit of extra shade too. Thank you. What do you think? I'm quite impressed with what they've done here. It has its own distinct feeling, while still clearly being the Bell House.
Yeah, I love it. I can tell Aspen put her heart into it.
On one side, cafe is a park. On one side of the cafe is a park, and on the other is a row of shops that are just as cute as the Bell House. None of them have such a long line though. There are only a couple minutes left until the grand opening. Everyone in the crowd knows it. I do a quick head count. There are almost 24 people standing in line. Not counting me and Juliet myself. There are a few others who aren't in the line either, like a reporter taking pictures and someone that must be Regina's husband. The warm, cozy scent of fresh bread and coffee are as strong here as the other location. Maybe even stronger, since we're outside and can still smell them. I can't see in through their frosted glass windows, but I imagine they're all doing a last-minute scramble, taking care of final touches. Before it's time, the ribbon is draped across the front door. Those suddenly open inwards, leaving the ribbon still hanging, and Aspen appears, dressed in uniform. He looks around, spotting me and Juliet, and giving a small wave, but he quickly focuses her attention to the crowd.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you all for coming. We appreciate you showing up before you're actually able to have your coffee.
Couple people chuckle.
My whole team has worked very hard to make today's opening a success, so we're very proud to officially open our doors to everyone. Lena!
Coming!
I can hear Lena, but can't see her. I can, however, see the look of disapproval on Aspen's face as Lena runs up to her with a pair of scissors. That disappears in a flash, though, as with a big smile, Aspen cuts through the ribbon in a single snip. She steps aside, letting the line of people begin to enter. As the first customer passes through the door, a chorus of cheers come from inside.
Welcome to the Bell House!
It takes a few minutes, but finally Aspen emerges from the building and comes over to where we are. I reach out my arms to embrace her, but she shakes her head.
No, don't hug me, I'm gross. As soon as I get home, I'm taking 3 showers
I'm
and 2 naps.
gross.
You deserve them.
I'm gross.
Everything
Don't hug
was
me.
amazing. You've done a great job.
Thanks. Wait until you actually go inside.
Wait,
Although
Guess I
maybe
have to,
it's
though.
better to wait until tomorrow for that.
why? I don't know, it's already got popular. Not sure if tomorrow will be any slower.
That's a good problem to have if it happens. I can show you around right now if you really want, but it's going to be awfully crowded in there.
Who cares?
It's fine. You can show us another time. We'll be here again soon, for sure.
Okay, fine. But wait. Indeed, I'm looking forward to, Green Corner myself.
Yes, me too. Lena told me you brought the books. Thank you so much.
Problem. Of course, I hope they find their way into the many new hands.
I'll make sure they do. I want to do some kind of discount for people who are working or reading here.
Anyways,
I'm not sure what it'll be yet, but I want to help out students and artists, even if it's just a free cup of coffee.
that sounds nice.
I'm already getting ahead of myself, though. We've been open for all of 10 minutes, and I'm planning what to do next.
Why not? It's fun.
You make that sound like it's a bad thing. But this place only exists because you dreamed about it, right?
Well, yes, I suppose so. I need my feet on the ground right now, though. I could let my head off into the clouds when my shift is over. Which, unfortunately, is still several more hours from now. I'm going to have a few words with whoever it was that put together this schedule.
That's you!
Was it you?
It absolutely was. After my naps and
course.
showers, I'll come by to visit this evening. Do you have any plans for how you want to spend your last couple days before your own new adventure, Miho?
Other than with you? Nah, not really. I think I might go for a walk. It's been a while since I just wandered around.
You've come so far since then, both literally and figuratively.
Yeah, I miss it a little bit.
Go wander then, and I'll see you at dinner.
Definitely.
Bye, Aspen. And good luck with the rest of the day. See you tonight. With a final wave, Aspen disappears back into the cafe. I think I'll be returning home myself. I'm gonna go out for a while, then would you like me to take Happy back with me?
Yeah, please. I think I'll be out for a bit.
I pass the leash to Juliet. Happy doesn't fight against leaving me anymore. He knows that I'll come back to him. I watch as those two head off back the way they came, the opposite direction of the Bell House. One other direction leads into town, but it's the fourth and most familiar path that I follow. For the second day in a row, I find myself atop Mount Victoria. Although I pass others going both up and down the mountain, I'm alone at the summit for the moment. Just me and the breeze. leaning against the railing, taking the sights again. The bustling city, the swaying trees, the cerulean ocean. All over. Everywhere. All over, everywhere I look, it's alive. Every person, every leaf, every single creature. We're not so different after all. We're all just doing what we can do to survive. To keep going and hopefully make tomorrow a little better than today. I can't count how many times I've been up here, enjoying this view, and can't ever begin to guess how many more times I'll come here in my lifetime. And yet, that's what makes it so precious today. Because someday, I won't be able to come here anymore. All I'll be able to do is think back and remember how it made me feel. So, I better feel as much as I can while I can. Even now, I can spot things that are different from yesterday. That's from people on the way up. Different boats dot the glittering horizon. Different airships come and go. As much as it feels like it sometimes, and as much as I used to believe it, true, nothing ever really stays the same. From the streets, the sea, even myself. Like clouds, we grow and change until someday, we disappear. There's a notable absence where my necklace hangs, but it isn't the aching kind of loss that feels like something's gone when it shouldn't be. Instead, it's more like nostalgia. Missing something, but knowing I can't go back to it. That the world in existence that I'm thinking of doesn't even exist anymore. Maybe it never did. I've been to so much of the world without really seeing any of it. After all, there's plenty of time to fix that, though. Years and years to enjoy it to the fullest. At the end, I feel the same way that Jongin did. Surrounded by the people that they loved, content with my life they had lived. Maybe like them, I come to exist in some way still. In the thoughts and stories of everyone that I cared about. And that cared about me. For someone who's not used to being remembered, a legacy like that doesn't sound too bad. Maybe someone someday will stand up here just like me, looking out at the world and seeing proof that I once lived here and existed. It's okay if they don't know me with my name. That doesn't bother me. But if there's one more bird singing its song than there would have been had it never existed, then that's enough. A sudden gust sweeps across the mountain, down through the forest, and out towards the sea. It ripples through my hair in the same way it ripples through the trees. As the leaves rustle together in a breeze, it sounds like warm laughter. Little fox, where is your home? The wind whispers. Closing my eyes, I relax and surrender myself to all of it.
Right here.
Oh, that's it. That's the end of my first playthrough. A lot shorter than I was expecting for this chapter. So. Touching. I like it. Cute.
I wonder if I'll always stay the same or be someone someday as you open up another door. I'm searching for more, but I'm not really sure what I Telepress flower to remember you by. And if getting older will mean that you're not on my mind, together we'll be young till we die. Maybe I'll forget a bit of you, maybe you'll forget me too, but I'll treasure every second, and I know that you will too.
Even with the shuttle ride and walk back, I get home before Aspen does. Poppy's waiting for me at the door, like he does every day. Take my hand, and then flop on the floor for a belly rub as soon as I come in. The cats crowd around to say hello too, although they keep their distance from Happy as much as they can. 5 years, they still haven't warmed up to him too much. They don't mind me like they used. They don't mind me like they used to, though. I start a pot of coffee, brewing for when Aspen gets back, and change out my work clothes. It's my turn to cook dinner tonight. So I also grab some ingredients from the fridge and leave them on the counter to finish thawing. Then, go to our bedroom and wash up. Working at the preserve has gotten easier, but it never gets boring. I always come home covered in dirt and more. But with the satisfaction of knowing that I did something meaningful. This week, I'm attending to a nest of Takahe chicks who lost their mother. These birds are kind of gross. I've know the hard way that pretty much all baby animals are, but seeing the improvements they've made the past few days has been all the reward I need. In the kitchen, I can hear Happy's collar sliding across the tile as he sits up, a sure sign that Aspen is home. Get out to greet her, just as the front door opens.
Hey, you.
Hello, love.
I wait for the animals all have their turn saying hello before I walk over to Aspen, putting my arm around her.
How was your day?
Oh my god, they're so fucking cute. Look at them! Oh my god, what the fuck?
Oh, the usual. I'm almost done reading this manuscript that came in a few weeks ago. It's a little rough around the edges, but I'd like to see more.
Interesting.
I'm at the Bell House tomorrow, so I'll finish it up on break or when I get back. What about you?
The usual. Fed some birds, chased some lizards, trimmed some plants.
So pretty. God, what the? This is illegal, Studio Lane. It's illegal to make such pretty anime women.
I'm gonna start on dinner next. Coffee should be ready soon too.
This is illegal. Look at this is illegal. This is illegal. How could they do this to us?
Thank you. You're the best.
I try.
Like always, I stand on my tippy toes and meet Aspen for a welcome home kiss. We've greeted each other this way every day for years now. It's like working at the preserve. I never get tired of it. At first, taking a job as an editor instead of making it as an author seemed like a downgrade to Aspen, but over time she's come to enjoy it a lot. The way she talks about seeing someone's face light up when she tells them their manuscript's been accepted, or when their book finally releases, reminds me of how I feel when we let a rescued creature back out into the wild. There's always a bit of worry. What if we did something wrong? What if they're not ready yet? But there's also a whole lot of excitement. And of course, still has the Bell House to help keep her stable, even if it's only a couple shifts now and then. Our home, our pets, our jobs, our lives. As much as I love the excitement, I love the comfortable familiarity. Much. I can't fucking read. If not more, in the end, I settled into life as a regular human pretty quickly. Both of us still have goals and dreams, things we'd like to do and see. But we've worked towards them one step at a time, and enjoying the journey along the way. I don't spend time wandering or worrying about just how many days or years I might have left, because I'm too busy living every single one of them. Forget me not.
Oh, thank goodness. A moment to relax.
71% complete. Only 71. So many more. There's less than 30% more. There's so many things to unlock too. Look at all these things I haven't seen yet. Also, here's some gallery stuff. What the fuck? Gallery stuff. I want to see gallery stuff. God. It's pretty. What the fuck? It'd be pretty. The fuck, my guy? Legal. This is the one I'm familiar with. Because this is the cover, the art that's used for the cover of Studio Land's 2021 art book, Peek It Nuke. I bought, and I have in my hand right now. So pretty. Of course, there's still 3 more endings I haven't seen, apparently. There's still 3 more other endings I haven't gotten. There's 4 endings total. Like, bro. So, I love it. So pretty. Music. How? We vocals or just instrument? Since I have the, the art book in my hand, I'm presenting it, the art book in my hand as if you can see. I have the art book in my hand, so presenting it for some reason. Why don't we just go to the back real quick? Read a quick farewell note left by someone special. Farewell. Written by Addie Rosa. Human affairs seem truly all-encompassing, so important, so unchangeable. The lives of the small are swept by whatever waves the humans decide to make, and they can be cast aside. Maybe not easily, but they can be cast aside. Because the weight of their lives do not matter as much as some decide that some humans have made. Decisions that some humans have made. I can't do it. Sure. Not comprehension. I really can't read well with the freaking lyrics in the background. I didn't. Well. This does nothing to comfort me, as I find myself in this grove. It had only been a year, a full set of seasons, a whole spectrum of colors decorating this forest. This forest has given me so much. 1 year. And I felt so at home here. What good reason would I have to leave? But that is not how a human lives. That's not how we function. As I live and I breathe, I have to live by these human rules. I cannot gallivant in the forest until I die. I cannot act so carelessly. I cannot. I must not. I will not. I need to have I need to have value. as a human being. So off I go, back home, to the overbearing man-made buildings. The severe government. Serve the government. I can't fucking read, I'm very sorry. Serve the government. Sign my life away to papers and fake pleasantries. This break of mine was so selfish, was it not? Be happy with it. Be satisfied. But I only learned to want more during the year. Ah well. A familiar log, the crunching leaves beneath my feet. Those sparks in my brain as the sound of life invigorates me. And there I see her, waiting patiently. Hello, my friend, I say, the young fox's ears twitching in response. My mother would yell at me, stay away. Never trust foxes, of course. Her maids were farmers. I couldn't say that I didn't understand. But the eyes on this one, too beautiful, too sincere. She approaches me. I extend my arm gently and hold it still. Presses her head into my hand, leaning over to meet her eyes. I'm leaving soon. I won't be here tomorrow. I say each word clearly, as if it would help her understand it all. Do you know what that means? Of course she doesn't. Perhaps she's confused, if anything. Would she understand the concept of home? If she's lived here her whole life, if she'd never had to leave, would anything be a home to her? Where's your home, little fox? Is it here in this grove? Do you come to see me too? My voice does not falter, as my heart does. This will be the last time, I'm afraid, because I'll be going home tomorrow. But my heart falters oh so very much. Home is such a small place compared to the rest of the world. Yet it's some place I cannot wait to return to. She rests into my hand, and more, as if she can see my sadness. But this isn't the comfort I want. I want her to understand. I cannot bear thinking of her returning, waiting for me as she's grown to do. To this grove which I cannot return to. I don't want her to wait for me. I do not. I wish she didn't have this loyalty. I wish I could bring you with me, my little friend. I wish that you could see the world too. I press my forehead against hers. It's so pathetic. She's only a fox. She's grown. Here she has lived here. She will continue to be fine without me. These sentimental feelings of mine, they surely aren't reciprocated. Your home is all around me. Home is all around me, though, isn't it? Where the trees are, where the leaves fall. What is the future? What the future that awaits me? The one where I created rules for myself that I will detest the day I die? This unhappy life that I will craft with my own hands. Little fox, perhaps it's you who is the most fortunate of two of us. That is a nice little excerpt from the viewpoint of Jung-in. Our little Miho's person. Her person. Very lovely. I do not regret buying the art book. It's really lovely. It's filled with a lot of cute art. I recommend you buying it. It's a good purchase. It's small, but also like there's a lot in it. I was squealing when I got it. I was like squealing because of how gay it is. I'm too gay for this. This book. I'm too gay for this fucking book. Book is amazing. I'm still presenting it as if you could fucking see it. They have. It's fucking amazing. I'm really presenting the book to the camera as if I'm using the camera at all. Artwork is so beautiful. It's so pretty too. Like, every piece of art in here is precious. I will treasure it with my life. It's so pretty. Once again, let's look at the nice credits. The director, Adirosa, Scenario, the character designer, all of them. Of course, apparently dedicated to the dear friend. I didn't know about this. Like, about this book. They're like, what do you mean dedicated to your friend, Penta? What does it mean? What do you mean? So beautiful. Game, everything about it. I love it so much. I'm happy I found the demo. I'm happy I learned about this on TikTok one day. But like the demo, I was like, what? What's this? A girls love visual novel? And it's the demo is out right now, and I had to play it. And I played it. I fell in love with it, chapter 1, and then I waited months for it to come out. And it finally came out, and here we are streaming it for a combined minimum of like 20 hours, probably, I'd assume. Probably a bit less than that, like combined minimum 15 hours spent into this, and I love it. I just realized I can just look at the time of how long I spent on it in the save menu. Unless it doesn't reflect that. I don't think it does. Because I remember I skipped through I transferred to a new device, so I don't have the exact play time of the game. Total 16 hours of chapter 2 to chapter 5. The only game that I've tried that they've made is this one. I've played one of the other ones that they've published, which is Who Was the Red Queen. I've only gotten one ending on that. I got the White Queen ending on that, like the official ending, not kind of the bad ends where you die because you open the box prematurely and then discovered, oh, that's what's in the Mad Hatter's box. Whoopsies, I'm dead. Hello, I'm impatient as fuck. This is the only game I've played. I've seen I've seen what was it called? The highway one a long time ago. But I never like bought it. I've seen the highway one like, a long time. Steam. Like, oh cool. Girls Love game. I'm broke though, so I can't get Highlight Blossom. So I'm like, okay, I was like, it's good. Heart of the Woods is great. Yeah, they have Heart of the Woods. I've also seen Heart of the Woods on Switch, as well, which is. I'm also excited for one of their new games. On their website. I saw like oh, this is one about moving. What was it called? Let me see the store real quick on my side. Yeah, How I Blossom. I saw that a long time ago on Steam. Like, cool. I'm broke though, so sad face. But now I'm not as broke. I can buy games. I bought it, obviously. Bought this game, obviously, as you can tell. What was the game? I saw on their website, and Our Home, My Keeper, looks really cute. I'm excited for when that comes out, sometime in. I didn't really. I don't think I never really paid. I didn't pay attention to the showcase thing they did when I did it a while ago. I know that they like announced a lot of things. Our Home, My Keeper. Like, look at the page on their website and reading it sounds really cute. The characters also look really cute. Oh, I'm a sucker for Aspen, obviously. Fuck, I also like how they named the cafe their publishing department. That's cute. I like it. They named the cafe that Aspen works at after their publishing department, Bell House. I like that. Very cute. That's very adorable. I might. Yeah, I know. I'm not sure if I'll stream the Juliet route or the other Aspen route. I might do that on my own time, seeing as most part it would just be going over the same thing. Even though the new Juliet parts are gonna be new, know if I want to stream that. I think I just want to like enjoy it on my own time. No, I did this is technically my own time as well. You know what I mean? You get what I mean. What happened? What did I mean? Lock and Key, like, will be similar. You know, yeah. I also want to try. They have other demos out, right? Other demos out. I believe. I don't remember. What page there's other. They have demos of other things. I'm just dumb. Yeah, Lock and Key is the one that isn't. I don't remember. I don't remember. I don't remember. There's a demo for something. Yeah, I might do Lock and Key next week. I'll try that out once I find it, because I don't remember where it is. I don't know where the fucking demo is because I'm fucking dumb as hell. Fucking idiot. I'll find it eventually. Somewhere in there. I'll find it somewhere. There somewhere. Maybe Itch.io. I'll check Itch.io. But yeah. I'll find it. Yeah, that was a stream. A lot like I said, a lot shorter than I was expecting. I was expecting another 5-hour chapter, like chapter 2 was. Chapter 2 and 3. Fucking, what was it? Was it chapter 2 or 3? One of the chapters was I was just fucking. It was so sad. I was not expecting it to be so sad. Just all of a sudden. Hi, you're like we're like 2 to 3 chapters in, and here's emotions. Enjoy. Got fucking punched in the face by emotions, like, bro. I was not ready to cry. Like, it wasn't bad. It wasn't welcome. It was touching. If you played this game, I assume. So it was Graveyard. And what followed after it. I was fucking bawling my eyes. I was just struggling to fucking read because I was crying so much. It was so sad. That chapter, dear God, no one was expecting that. I don't think anyone was expecting that much emotion that early. Can't believe. That's it. Let's one I want. What else we had in the gallery? Anything? Buzz off. Friends forever. Someone likes me. The joy of flowers. Candlelight. Fox in the Grove. Unfinished business. But always dreamed. They're so cute. Yeah, fucking freaking the 1-2 punch, the Cosette, the realization that Jong-in is fucking was dead for Miho. Like, we all knew that they were probably dead, but like Miho coming to terms with that, like fully grasping the fact that they were dead. The emotions, the voice acting is fucking amazing. Props to them. Like, what the hell? And then the freaking Aspen thing. Oh no, not now. We just got together. Like, look at her. Look at her. Look at Aspen. They pull that shit on us. Like, what the hell? Can't believe it. Yeah, thanks for coming. Doctor the Park. Where are they? Right here they are. We've got Tufel. Miho and Silver? I didn't know they were the same voice actor. That's cool. And Chloe Moret as Aspen, and our Kirby. Yeah, these three fucking for that scene. So knocked out of the park. Really just outdid themselves. You could feel every bit of emotion. Loved it. Anyways, I don't know. We've been rambling this whole time, but that's kind of the fun. Rambling about things you've just finished playing and the joy that comes with it and all that. And this scene, those left behind, this visit to the cemetery makes things all too clear to me. This alone fucking killed me so much. Balled my eyes. Look at the VOD if you. I don't remember what chapter it is, but so sad. Yeah, anyways, I guess I should wrap this up at some point in my life. Sometime this decade, I should wrap this up. Who is out there doing things that I know? Ew. Well, thank you, Awesome, for, dropping by and sticking through most of it. Appreciate it. But it is time for us to head out. What's his name? I sure will. I'll do it off stream. Same thing. Wait, don't have to fucking. I also want to murder my voice. My voice dies every time because I'm never used to reading that much text by myself for that long, out loud. Yeah, let's say hi to J Joker, streamer I've been rating very often because she's also streaming at the same time as me. It's very coincidental. It's like, oh yes, I'm not streaming. You're still streaming, so let's just raid because let's raid this person. We're playing Fork Knife. So yeah, Fork Knife. I have no raid message, so say whatever the fuck you want. It's not offensive. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. Hope you enjoyed watching, and also you enjoyed the game and all that stuff as well. I've seen me own the game. Talking. We enjoyed watching and into my voice dying as I narrate the thoughts of Miho and all that, and the entry to yeah, that man. What awkward.